Ooh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin steady. I be straight up like an addict, might become an addict. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it, now I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, and you know what's next, stay. You been rockin' with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her,
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. About my chicken and its rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing it. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Speed showing for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, all they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys all had a great weekend, and we dropped the market update earlier today, guys, and we are getting the continued drop to the downside here as Bitcoin has now broken below $94,000. We are getting a little bit of a local bounce, but I want to break down the prices here, guys, or the price action, that is. Can we continue lower? We do have some potential bearish signals on the chart. We looked at some of those in today's earlier market update, and they actually started playing out. A lot of them actually have already played out, pushing us into our next key levels of support, not resistance, key levels of support. What are we going to see next here on Bitcoin, guys? Are we about to see a much bigger correction on BTC, or can we potentially get saved here by this first level of support? We're going to be covering it all on tonight's live stream. And as you guys know from Friday, we are in a short position from the tippy top taken in the premium Discord during our premium live stream. So I am holding that short. It is in profit. I've already locked in a bunch of profit. I have a little bit left running here, but we're going to see if we can come down a little bit lower here, guys. I don't want anyone getting really, really scared. I'm going to talk about kind of like the worst case scenario. Where am I actually going to be worried? Like, oh my God, the bull market's over. Obviously, we are still pretty far away from that level. However, I do want to kind of point it out just to let everybody know, in case we do see some kind of crazy dump to the downside. You want to have those key levels of support on your chart so you know kind of what you're looking at, and you know when to actually panic and when to be looking to buy the dip or look for those long positions. So with all that being said, guys, smash that like button if you have not smashed that like button yet. I don't care what you do, guys. Headbutt it, touch it with your elbow, knee it, touch it with your butt. I don't care. I'm not judging anybody. Just smash that like button, guys, if you have not already. If we get 1,000 likes, we will be doing some Solana giveaways. So definitely smash that like button. And shout out to Michael. I don't know if that's Michael. I don't know. Shout out to you, bro, though. Thank you for being here, bro. What is going on? He says, shout out to the premium Discord. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. We just hopped off that premium live stream. Let's see who else we got. We got Nirvana in the chat. We got Dewey in the chat. Said, worst case Ontario. Hey, shout out to Dewey. We are going to take a look at that. Shout out to 3 Diglets. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, crypto is effing dead. And I'm going to hopefully give you guys, like I said, I'm going to look at that worst case scenario, but I hopefully give some people a little bit of peace of mind here about kind of what we're seeing here. Shout out to CJ. Says, every time Frankie goes live, the dump stops, baby. We're going to try to hold it, guys. We will pull up Mrs. Candle's hands and start sniffing them if we need this thing to pump, and we need backup. We'll bring Mrs. Candle's hands in here. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button. And without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and see if we can figure out what is going on next with Bitcoin. Let's jump into it. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. And just to kind of start off here on the higher time frames, guys, just taking a look at the actual price action. Take a deep breath. If you're out there scared, just know that we have gotten a massive, massive move to the upside. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. Now, sometimes Bitcoin will go up in a straight line, but it will not go up in a straight line forever, right? You need those pullbacks, and I will kind of talk about the worst case scenarios here. Oh, my God. It's going to zero, guys. I'm just kidding. I'll talk about the worst case scenarios. We do have a lot of support down below. I'm going to take a look at those local levels here. We do have some pretty significant support levels that I would not like to lose, but it'll be kind of a nice guide on the way down to try to figure out, how low are we going to go? And if we, look at those specific key levels that if lost, where is that kind of panic level? Like, oh, my God, this is not good at all. So we're going to cover all that. But, zoom out, guys. If you are in panic here, it really is pretty funny, right? Because, back here, as we were consolidating, as we were getting these drops down, I had so many people asking me if that was the bear market. I always have the same answer. When you're panicking, when in doubt, just zoom out, guys. Obviously this was not a bear market, right? This was just kind of sideways accumulation, honestly, like bullish accumulation or bullish consolidation for this next move to the upside. Now, does that mean that this is 100% not going to be the top for a massive dump? No. But in the grand scheme of things, like this is not really something to worry about, at least just yet, right? We have plenty of room down below, plenty of support down below that we could potentially bounce off of. And until we start cracking those key levels that I'm going to talk about in a second, I'm not really going to be panicking. So keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here. So obviously we did get this spill to the downside. Now, as you guys know, I am in a short position here on Bitcoin, literally from the top here on Blowfin. You guys can see that the entry, my stop loss is also at break even. I've already taken profits off this trade, but literally short here from the tippy top with the premium Discord. If you guys want to join the premium Discord, not that you're just gonna be able to get in there and short the top every single time. I don't want that to be the general thought here. We do catch the tops on the bottom very often, but if you guys want to check it out, link in the description down below. But yeah, we did catch that short. I already took a bunch of profit off of this, but we still got about $851 left in the position. It is now a $24,000 short, still up about $1,400 unrealized. Blowfin does not show the realized profit, unfortunately, but still up $1,400 here. Not too bad, 165%, and I am now in a little bit of a scalp long here with the premium Discord as well. Drop that update in like seconds as the intro is rolling. Like, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here. Not that this is not a long signal, guys. I already up $262, right? This does not mean long Bitcoin right now. You have to have a plan, and we talk about those plans in the premium Discord. It's not just like, oh my God, we're bouncing, get along, right? Like, there's reasons why we take these trades. But gonna see if we can catch the knife here, or just try to stop ourselves out here for a small loss if it does not continue to give us a little bit of a bounce here. But we did get that nice little drop here, guys. As you guys know, as we looked at the price on Friday, let me see if I can pull up the range that we were looking at, right? So we had this local range that we were bing-bonging around in, and then the short position that I entered was on the sweep of the high here at about, what is this? $99,600. We came up, we swept that high once again. That is where we took our short on the premium live stream for the much bigger drop to the downside, looking for that break of structure. We wound up getting that. And the first levels that we looked at on the live stream on Friday to the downside was this golden pocket, which was a level of support. However, we had all these liquidations sitting down below. And if you guys watch the stream, you will know that we were looking at this exact box as those liquidations, those long liquidations sitting down below. And what does this mean, right? Well, it means if we come down to that golden pocket, not only could we potentially look for a long position, but if we crack this wick sitting at about $95,650, we knew with those long liquidations sitting down below that if price cracked below this actual level, that wick that I just showed here at $95,650, we would very likely see a fill of those liquidations as people would get stopped out of their longs, adding that sell pressure to the market, giving us the fill of this entire liquidation range. And what happens, guys? I just like showing this because it plays out so beautifully so often. We wind up breaking that wick, and then we get a big flush of those liquidations almost perfectly down to the 786. However, we did not get any of the bullish confirmations here for the long, so we did not take the long position. We waited for lower prices, and here we are now getting the bigger drop to the downside. And that was kind of level number one that we were looking at, and it sort of held up earlier today. Like, we swept those liquidations. We got a little bit of a retracement, but that is all it was. It was a little retracement for a continuation to the downside. Now, it wasn't just the fact that we had the liquidity sitting down here, and we know that liquidity acts as a magnet for price. We even, I talked about this in the market update earlier today. If you guys missed that, well, you're probably going to get a lot of that sauce on today's live stream. So, but if you want to go back, you can go back and check that out. But you can see here, like, we had, a lot of people probably looking at this as some kind of an inverse head and shoulders. Oh my God, this is the break to 100K. Oh my God, we're going up. But what happens? We knew we had that liquidity down below. That pattern is not always going to play out in your favor, but by understanding where that liquidity is sitting, you can kind of figure out the likelihood of those patterns playing out. And in this case, we did want to get gravitated towards those liquidations. And again, those do act as magnets for price. However, we did not hold this support zone. We are now trading lower. And we have come down to our next level of support that we were looking at on Friday night's live stream. And that was sitting all the way down here, guys, where it's crazy to see this stuff literally tapped to the dollar. We have this naked volume profile. We also have an anchored VWAP flying through here as well. I believe we had a local golden pocket here on top of all that. So this was some kind of our next confluent level of support that we were looking at. And got that drop down, guys, and we tapped that value very high to the almost to the dollar. We did get some kind of low time frame bullish divergences here, as well as some other stuff. So I did take that stab at the little scalp long. Again, over here on Blowfin, now up $462. Just like that, you go from $200 in profit almost to $500 in profit. This is just that next key level of support. I mean, this is what we've been looking at for quite some time, guys. We knew these levels were on the chart on Friday, so we had those levels sitting down below. On top of that, we also saw on Market Cipher B that we did start to have some of this money flow coming out, indicating a potential continuation to the downside. And here we are, right? Like, just seeing the TA play out. And oh, baby, she's bouncing. Baby, she's bouncing. Come on. Now, I will say this, like, obviously we saw this money flow coming out on Friday, and it is continuing to come to the downside, guys. This is, from a binary point of view, this is technically Market Cipher B saying that this trend may be able to continue to the downside. But Frankie, I don't want the bull market to be over. I just bought Bitcoin. I just bought my altcoins. And again, we're going to talk about kind of the levels that I would be looking at to end the bull market. I will say this, guys. We are very At least at this point, things move fast in crypto, but I will say at this point, we are pretty far away from those levels. So just to kind of give like a quick little ease of the mind for the Mafia. But very simply put, we got that continuation down. Market Cypher B giving us those money flow crossovers, continuing that push. On top of that, we have the 2-day red dot confirmed. 3-day red dot was also printing, and it is still printing here, about to confirm in about 1 hour and 2 minutes. And it's just not uncommon. On top of that, you also have a little bit of a daily bearish divergence. Now, granted, this is not necessarily a sign for a bull market top, just like a little daily bullish divergence. When you're in a huge parabolic move like we are seeing right now, guys, this is kind of where we go over to the previous bull run in 2021, and we kind of look at those same signals, right? Like we see these come up to the 3-day. You see these 3-day red dots. Oftentimes, we'll give you some kind of a pullback, right? And if you're new to crypto, if you are just getting into this market, guys, a 20 to 30% pullback, a 15% pullback, these are not uncommon in a bull market, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you just hold on forever and just pray for higher prices because that's what happened in the past. But you can just see here, right? Like, if we're somewhere in here in the bull market right now, like timing-wise, right? Like you can see here, we got that first big rip to the upside in October and November, and then we started seeing those 3-day red dots, start to print here, and they essentially wound up giving us a nice little pullback of about 17%. Was that a big deal in that bull market? Absolutely not, right? That was one of the very few buying opportunities that you had to continue up in that continuation to the upside, right? And like even here, right, this was a little bit more aggressive of about 32%, but then we wound up just breaking the highs once again. So just to kind of put things in perspective from where we are right now. Now, I know this feels scary, and hey, it might wind up being scary eventually, but we're down 7%, guys. It's something really to like freak out about as of right now. Just making that clear, but that 3-day red dot could potentially give us a continuation, right? Like from the high here, we pull back, say, 13%, 15%, something like that. It does bring us back down to some of these other key levels, which I'm going to bring up right now. But like even if we were to see some kind of like a 20% pullback, 80K, this is going to be another big, big level to watch. I'll show you exactly why in just a minute. But, we could see pullbacks here, guys. It's not impossible to happen in a bull market, and we'll talk about the line in the sands as well. But here we are getting that pretty nice little bounce off our first level of support. Long continuing to play out. $531 in profit for the long. Still going to hold this short, guys. And you might be asking yourself, well, Frankie, if your long's in profit, like, why are you not just going to close this and ride this all the way up? And the answer to that is, guys, well, number one, I've already taken profit on that short, right? I already have like $1,500, maybe a little more than that locked in on that short, plus another, $1,300 that you just saw unrealized. But here's the thing, right? We do have to somewhat understand that this money flow coming out on some of these medium time frames, like the 2-hour, could potentially give us the continuation of the trend, right? Not everything, just like nothing goes up in a straight line forever, nothing goes down in a straight line forever either, right? And if this money flow crosses over into the red, it will indicate most likely the overall trend, right? The macro, I don't want to say macro trend, but the overall trend within that time frame, right? So if that 2-hour money flow crosses over into the red, even if we do get bounces, we could potentially anticipate lower highs to come in before continuations to the downside. So let's see. Shout out to Julius. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you, bro. He said, just subbed. You called this well last stream. You saved me some loss. Hey, shout out to Julius, baby. Guys, this is why you want to be subbed to the channel. We're not right 100% of the time. Obviously, no one is. But when you understand how to read the charts like we do here, and I teach it for free every single weekday right here on the live stream. But once you understand how to read these charts, you don't need to be right 100% of the time, even though the TA will be right like a majority of the time. It's not about just, making a bet in either direction saying, I think we're going up, so I'm just going to put all my cards on a long and hope that we go up. That's not what TA is about. That's not what trading's about. And it's not how you trade successfully, right? So shout out to Julius. We did absolutely look for this to happen. And it is funny, right? Like these volume profiles, guys, it's just a simple rotation of value. If I pull up our current range that we were looking at last week, we have value up here. If we lost this, right, and we got a bigger dump to the downside, price is naturally going to seek out fair value. And you might say, well, Frankie, what is fair value? Fair value, the way I'd like to look at it, right, or just the way the market works, is going to be sitting in between these volume profiles. This is why I love this tool so much, right? You have fair value being built up here. Once you impulse out of this, or once you wind up getting imbalance out of this range, you are going to get gravitated towards the previous areas of balance, which is simply sitting down here. That makes your value area high, your your key level of support until proven otherwise. Looking for bounces. Like I said, I just took that long position off this value area high, not just waiting for the level to get tapped. There's confirmations, obviously. We cover that more in the premium Discord. But, if we wound up coming down here, right, maybe we just get a little bounce. And then if we come back down here, we start losing the value area high. Now we have that nice context of this lower value area letting us know, hey, if we lose this value area high, we can look down towards that POC sitting at 91,250. And then, this would also be another key level. We'll get into these right now. And then if we lose that, I'm going to be looking down here towards about $88,000. But that's how the market works, right? It's just simply about understanding where the value is and then looking for the impulses or imbalances either outside of the range to the upside or outside of the range to the downside, and then just simply understanding where that previous value is and just waiting for those targets to get hit and then looking for the confirmations. Let's see. Shout out to Landon. Shout out to Landon. Said, Frankie the Black Gandalf of crypto. Shout out to Landon. And guys, I do want to say, do we get this right more often than not? Yes. Are we always right? Absolutely not. Can you also do this? Absolutely. This is what I am passionate about on this channel, is teaching the mafia how to do exactly what I do so you guys can make money in this market as well. Hey, shout out to Felix. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, super chats are coming in, guys. The love is alive here, even on a Bitcoin dump. Said, bro, thanks for the insights. Set my levels. Yo, let's go. We pump it. Yo, shout out to Felix. Let's get it, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. Back-to-back live streams. We blessed. Shout out to Nordic. Were you in the premium? You might have been in the premium live stream, bro. It's a mafia of goats, absolutely. Shout out to all the goats out there. But that's what we're looking at, guys. That's the and then if we get accepted into here, we would look for the full rotation of that value area back down to the value area low, understanding that POC could potentially act as support. This would technically, right, the reason I was willing to take a little scalp long here was because this is technically could be looked at as, hey, maybe we just want to go back and retest the top of this range before continuing to the upside. And this is oftentimes how things work. So I did wind up taking that little scalp long, obviously. By the way, if you guys want to check out Blowfin and trade with the Mafia on Blowfin, you can check the link in the description down below. We actually do have, I believe, that is a little, okay, not sharing any secret sauce here in the premium, but that is the premium Discord. Where are we? If you come on over to the announcements, or I guess you guys don't have to do this, I'll just pull it up. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. We do still have our deal going on with Blowfin, guys. It ends on the 29th. So if you want to, if you use our link in the description down below and you want to sign up to trade on Blowfin, no KYC for a potential 15% cashback bonus. Depending on how much you deposit, they'll deposit up to $1,500 in bonus future money into your account for you to trade with. You can't withdraw it, but if you make money on top of it, you make profit on top of it, you can keep that money. So you guys can check that out in the link in the description down below. But simply put here, guys, I don't know. We did this last Friday on the live stream. I want to pretend I'm a wizard, guys, but it's just the analysis that we teach here every single weekday. So, that's pretty much what we're looking at. Now, I do want to talk about some of these levels. This is level number 1, where we have the anchored VWAP, value area high. I believe we also have a local golden pocket here. Yeah, a little local golden pocket. And, after we wound up sweeping, we did sweep a lot of this liquidity to the downside, which basically just means hey, a lot of the longs got wrecked out. So maybe it's time to get a little bit of a reversal to the upside here. Let me see if I can pull up those liquidation levels really quickly. Bada boom. So yeah, you guys can see here if I pull this up on High Block Capital. Let me move this. Oh no, guys, I spilled coffee. Oh no, hang on. Oh my god. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I got paper towels on standby here. All right, we're good. That wasn't that bad. It didn't spill that bad. But all right. As you guys can see here on these liquidation levels, obviously that wick, this is what we looked at on the live stream last Friday, right? We have this wick down here. We have all those liquidations sitting down below, acting like sitting ducks in the market. So even though we ripped up here, right, you still wanted to go gravitate towards that liquidity and sweep out those longs before potentially getting another bounce to the upside if we could see this continue. But at this point, we wound up coming down. We swept that liquidity. And again, that was marked off as this box on the chart. And you can see this perfectly represented here, right? You break below this, sweep of that liquidity, right? And then you get the little bounce. But again, it was just a lower high to continue that move to the downside. But now that we have swept that liquidity, right, we've taken out a lot of these longs, right? We may want to get a little bit of a relief rally here or a little bit of a retracement, and we now have a lot of liquidity sitting above, right? So we swept out the longs. If we get this continuation to the upside, we do have some liquidity up here all the way up to ending at about 95,182. It starts, this next little pocket starts at about 94,620. Let's see here. Yeah, 94,620. So, if we start cracking this back, kind of funny enough, like just still in this same long zone, liquidation zone, right? So if we can crack back up here, maybe able to see those liquidations fill to the upside just a little bit. And then, depending on, how high we're going to go here is going to be dependent because, again, money flow would indicate that we may be able to get a little bit of a lackluster retracement before putting in a lower high and continuing down. And again, this is based off money flow, right? We have the 30-minute money flow in the red, 24-minute money flow just crossed into the red, 2-hour money flow about to cross into the red, and that indicates the trend to the downside, not an instant drop, right? Could get the retracements because a lot of people, and it's pretty easy to confuse, right? Like people might think like, I don't get it. You said money flow, you say money flow is coming out, but then we came to the upside. Well, absolutely, right? Because it's not supposed to be an instant signal. It's overall the trend, right? And in those trends, you have a low, and then you have to come up to put in a lower high, and then continue to the downside more often than not, right? So that's kind of what Market Cipher B is calling for, right? But this doesn't mean that I'm just holding my short from the top till zero, right? I've already taken profits on it, and I'm taking stabs at longs here as well, right? Because in a bull market, sometimes things can get going pretty quickly to the upside. So that's kind of how I'm handling things, right? We came down to our first level. We wait for the confirmations. We take the trade, try to catch the knife. If not, get stopped out for a small loss, and that short will continue to absolutely pay us out to these next key levels. So that is level number one. Golden pocket, we're already bouncing off this, but 92,935, that value area high is sitting at about $92,515. And then if we get stuck underneath here, guys, I'm simply going to be looking down to this POC, which also has confluence with the 786 of that same fib pull. And I believe we do have another golden pocket in here as well. So that is just going to be the next key level of support. And then, again, very simply, if we lose that, I'm going to be looking down here towards about $88,000 where we have not only a value area low. Let me pull up some daily levels here as well. This was the other level that we have kind of close to the POC is this daily level at about 89.9. But for the most part, I don't want to confuse people with too many levels. These are important to know that they're there. But we break down below this value area high, go to the POC, lose the POC, right? Eventually looking to, probably get sucked down to this value area low, where we not only have a value area low at 88,155, and then you have the daily sitting down here at about 87,350, right? So if we come back into this range, I will simply just be playing this as a simple volume profile. Get stuck in, POC, value area low. This would be where I would be most interested in long positions if we have bullish confirmations into this key level of support. And remember, support, guys, is more often than not a zone, right? It's not always going to be just like a straight level. It's honestly not often that you're going to have a level here and it's going to get tapped to the dollar like that for a move up. It's nice when it happens, as you can see, but it's very, very not often is it that, right? Typically, it is some kind of a zone. So if we wiggle down here, I will be looking for acceptance below this key level. This is the level you're going to want to have marked on the chart, guys, 92,542. This is that key level that if you get stuck below, you're probably at least looking at 91K, and then you lose that. It is the potential doorway down to 88K. And then down here, although I did take a long here, I will be looking for longs here. This would kind of be the next area I'd be interested in big long positions if we can get down there with the confirmations. And again, value area low, daily, and I do believe, let me pull, I think we have some anchored VWAPs. I think it comes from this low, I believe. Yeah, so you have an anchored VWAP in there as well as beautiful confluence there. So yeah, we'll see. Like here you had an anchored VWAP, golden pocket value area high. Here you have a value area low, daily, and anchored VWAP. Now, this is going to move up over time, right? So we'll see, what happens. We'd probably have to come down there pretty quick for that to remain confluent. But again, it's an if this then that statement, guys. We're still pretty far away, right? We can get there quick, but we're still 6% away from this level. But I want you guys to have these on your chart, right? Because you have to have these levels. Trading is a game of trapping, right? It is not a game of hunting. Do you have to go hunt for an entry? Yes, but you're not going to hunt for the trades. You're actually going to you want to go on your chart, find the areas that understand something here, right? I did not take long positions. This is why I love going live every day, because you guys can kind of see what I do and how I do it, right? Throughout the week, right? We look at something, we wait for a level, and then sometimes we don't get to the level until 2 days later, but we don't do anything until we get to that level. And hopefully I show you guys that with the actual action of showing you what I'm actually doing, right? So, we had this level on the chart, right? From last week. I wasn't just taking random longs up here for no reason, right? I was waiting for that next key level, and then I only take action when I get into that level. This was the trap, right? And again, like I'm not saying this is like this probably not the low in my opinion, but we just sit on our hands. Once you get down in there, that's where you look for the confirmations to take the trade. Other than that, I sit on my hands. If I'm not coming down to a key level, right? If I'm not retracing into a key level of resistance or support, I'm not just taking willy-nilly trades, right? I more often than not, when we get down to a level and I take a trade, I've been waiting for that level. It's very important to realize that. You don't want to get on the chart and be like, where can I look for a long? Right? Because then you're probably going to be on the 15-minute or like not even. You're probably be on like the 1 to 5 minute, right? And you're going to look like, oh my God, we got to bounce, we got to move down, and now we're just hitting the value area low. Let me long, wrecked. Oh, we came down to a golden pocket. Let me long, wrecked. Right? Oh, 786. Let me long. Oh, I'm winning, wrecked. Right? You have to have reasons, and you have to have like a set of rules, right? We had a set of rules to look for a long position here, but those rules were not fulfilled. Those entry trigger confirmations did not happen. So we do not take the trade. And what happens? I mean, well, you would have saved yourself from getting stopped out. But even if you did catch this up, right, it's a 1.8% move, not a bad scalp. But for the most part, it wasn't going to continue up, right, because we didn't get the confirmations. If we got the SFP on this level, we probably would have ripped up. So it's very important. Like sometimes knowing when to not take a trade can be just as important as knowing when to take a trade. And I actually did take a trade on the premium live stream today. From this 786, right, based off of some certain things that we were seeing, but it wasn't a high probability trade, and I explained that when we were looking at it, but I just took a little shot at it, right, and we wound up getting a little bounce, and then we wound up coming back down and getting stopped out. Or actually, I'm sorry, I think I took that trade down here, right, we got a little bounce, and then we wound up getting stopped out. Short continued to pay us out, and now we're in this long position now as well. So, yeah, very, very important, right, like trading can be very tricky. You have to understand, like, what you're looking for and why you're looking to take the trade, not just, like, looking for candles going up or down and trying to gamble on riding that wave, right? You want to have a reason to actually enter. And using the liquidity is like one of the best ways to do that. So those are the next local levels to the downside. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see if that long continues up. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Frankie, what if we do wind up getting a bigger bounce here? You know, where can we put in a lower high? Very simply put, guys, it's the same thing as every single other time we look for potential lower highs for continuations down. I'm going to be looking, for the most part, at the Fibonacci retracements, right? And the previous value areas, right? So let me actually pull this to before the breakdown. Whoops, that's good enough. So simply put, right, like I'm going to pull my fib from the high here all the way down to the low, right? So we do have some confluence here with the golden pocket value area low. It's kind of a big zone. But in general, let me pull this from the absolute high. You can see here, we now are starting to see some confluence, right? So we have a golden pocket, value area low. Not that I would just instantly short this if we came up there, but this would definitely be a big level of resistance. Not only is this a potential area where we could come up, put in a lower high, and then continue down, but also it's pretty much the level that you got to get above in order to get accepted back into this range, right? Which can give you the context for that move up. Now, POC 786 also confluent here. Now we don't know, right? We don't, and I could show an example of this of what we were looking at for a potential another move down here, but we don't know if we're going to reject this full Fibonacci retracement or if we're going to come down and reject this local Fibonacci retracement or even this, well, this one, no, this is different. But, you know, we don't know if we're going to reject these local levels or if we're going to come up for the full one. So you kind of have to, you know, move around your Fibonacci retracements, right? Like you're going to want to look at the full retracement, but sometimes you don't make it all the way up there and you wind up putting in a lower high here and coming down. And where is that lower high likely coming in at? It's probably coming in on a local golden pocket retracement, right? Whether it's this one, right? 786 golden pocket, etc. Right? But that's kind of how I would look at it. But, you know, for the most part, you know, if I'm looking at this from like a longer term perspective, golden pocket, POC 786, these would be two big levels to look at. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way back up there, to be honest. But if we did, these would be big levels to look at. Now, if we got another drop down, this fib would change, right? Because you have to pull it from the current low to the current high. But yeah, that's kind of how I would look at it, right? And the reason I would even be open to looking for lower highs is simply because of the money flow. Money flow indicates a longer term trend, as I always say, right? So you can get moves up, but you're looking at them as lackluster retracements to put in lower highs and continue down. But it's a little more involved trying to find the exact retracement that you're going to take. So there you go. Now, what is the worst case scenario? Frankie Candles. I'm not scared right now, but at what point are you going to get scared? And believe it or not, I do have a level there, guys. Not that I'm going to get scared, but not that I would personally get scared, but you know, we're not just going to long every level until zero, right? So just to clear things up, keep it nice and simple. These are the next major levels to the downside. We have a lot of support in here. If we start losing the 88, 87K level, this is where we could potentially see a bigger move down. Now, let me go ahead and let me just hide this stuff real quick. So what happens if we come down even more? And to be quite honest with you guys, again, we have a pretty good amount of room to come down here before things start to get worrisome. But, we talked about this on Friday. Really, like, the area that we really don't want to revisit, right, or really, if we do come down there, we really want to hold, is going to be the range highs from that 7-month accumulation that we had back here, right? You could look at it as a breakout and a potential retest because, again, another thing you want to keep in mind here, guys, is there's a lot of long liquidity sitting down here, right? Everybody's getting the pumps to the upside. Basically, you enter a long position here, and you're just riding the wave, right? Eventually, as long as you're not on, like, 200x leverage, like, eventually it's just going to come into profit. So a lot of people just kind of taking the shots at longs here, hoping to ride this massive wave, putting a lot of that long liquidity to the downside. And we just took a look at what that long liquidity can do when you drop into those zones, right? We get those quick moves to the downside based off the fact of when you get stopped out or liquidated out of a long position, it creates a market sell, right? And that's what gives you that sell pressure, those big liquidations, those punchy moves to the downside. So, I don't know. Like, this would be brutal. It's like, I don't think... Yeah, I don't know. We've been talking about this for, like, the past few days, right? Like, on Friday's live stream, we were talking about not only the local liquidity down here, but just the general liquidity all the way basically down to about 85K, right? Like, a lot of longs could get punished here if this pullback continues, right? And starts stopping out those longs, liquidating the longs, getting those big pushes to the downside. It is a situation that we could potentially see happen. Now, are we going to just take out every single long that's ever been put in since the breakout of the range? This would be insane, right? Like, I hope this doesn't happen, even if it's just a liquidity hunt. But this would not be ideal, right? Let me get rid of this. Bada boom. So, I wouldn't hate to come, like, clean out some of this liquidity and, again, come down to that range low that we just looked at. Right? Come down to this value area low, flush out those longs, and then potentially look for new positions back to the upside. That is probably, from a bull market perspective, like the more likely situation just based off the environment that we're trading in. But if we start losing that, the fact of the matter is there's still probably a lot of liquidity sitting down below here, which does put us at danger of pretty fast moves down. Now, other than this range high at about, $74,000, right? Sitting right here, this come up to a higher time frame, right? If we are, I really hope we don't have to come down here. This would not be fun. But if we did come down here, I don't know. It'd be a little sus in my opinion, because if you don't just get a huge bounce off of this, you start losing this level, guys. Like, you do not want to get accepted back into this value. That is kind of the line in the sand, to be honest. Now, I do believe, where is that? Hang on. Let me see here, because I know everybody was talking about this on the way back up, like in chat. Everybody was talking about the CME gap. So let me see here. So we do have that CME gap sitting at about. Yeah, here it is. Oh God, it's not a guarantee, right, that we just get to fill the CME gap, but this is sitting between about $80,000 and $77,000, which, funny enough, is very close to the range highs, right? So if we wind up coming down here, that's just another big level to watch. However, I would really prefer this situation. Just wash out these local longs, let everyone else stay in, clean out these lows, and then get the bigger rip up. That's what I would like to see. And that's kind of the plan as of right now. If we get down to those range lows and we start, things look really bearish, then we could change our plan and just reassess the situation and, adjust accordingly, right? And then at that point, it's kind of like, hey, guys, we don't really have too much below us after that range, right? Very quick move up oftentimes means a very quick move down, right? And let me pull up the VPVR real quick here, right? Not a lot of volume on these candles, right? Do we just kind of have quick move up? So if we come down here, start losing this range, whoop, that could happen very quickly. This would be horrifying. This is, in my opinion, this would be worst case scenario without calling for much lower prices. This would be super scary, and then hopefully we just bounce off the CME gap, because if we don't, That's where you get at risk of getting accepted back into the lower value, losing 74K, and potentially coming back down to some much lower prices. And in my opinion, that is where things get a bit worrisome. Like bull market potentially being over worrisome. That's not what I'm looking at right now. You guys can see we are pretty dang far away from that, right? And I mean, to be honest, although I wouldn't want to see that, it wouldn't be like a bull market. Even if we got down to these range highs, let me pull up the other chart here real quick. Like from this high all the way down to these range highs is 25%. We see that in bull markets. So, but that not holding that CME gap and coming down to really testing these range highs is kind of the first sign where I'm like, okay, guys, we really got to start bouncing here. If we don't start bouncing here, again, let's not forget that we have our major range, right? The main range that we were in for, where is it? It's in here somewhere. Come on. That's not it. Where is it? Did I delete that main range? No way. I mean, it's a pretty easy range to pull. I'll just pull it. But it's just this value area here, right? Like we do not want to get below this. Like you start getting accepted into this range and like losing these range highs, that's the reason this is not good in my opinion if you do wind up doing that. And again, we're very far away. Even though it is bull market pullback territory, hopefully we don't get this. This would be boring. This is like not boring, but this would be like, ugh. I don't know. Markets are hard, guys. Markets are hard. That's kind of why I'm open to seeing that, right? Because like if the market was as easy as just like, it started to feel up here, like everybody just long, it's never going to stop, right? And like that's typically where you're ready for a pullback. But if we did get down there, just to kind of give you guys an idea of like the thought process here, if you get stuck in this range, like you have an opportunity of potentially coming back into this lower volume profile, which is not what we want to see. So yeah, those are like, we're very far away from that. Like I said, like we have a lot of, we have a lot of support down here. So let's see. Yeah, like we'll see if we come down here. Like those are the next. I don't see there's really no reason to look all the way down there just yet. We'll see if we can hold this value area high. If not, come into the POC at 91.3, 91.250. Lose that POC. Look to come down to these value area low daily confluence. Very simply put, again, money flow kind of looking a little ugh. But in a bull market, sometimes that money flow, like look what happened here, right? Like we bing bong around, we start to pull back a little bit, and then that money flow comes out. Oh my God, are we going to continue down? Nope. Hashtag bull market. You come right back into the 2-hour green wave on the money flow, and you continue up and you take the highs, right? So that's what I'm looking at. That's how I'm handling things. And hopefully that helps you guys kind of, again, like pretty far away from like the sketchy zone here. But we start breaking 80, we start breaking this range. That's kind of where I'm like, okay, Mrs. Candles, go away for a second. I need to focus. Actually, give me that hand. Let me sniff that hand and see if we can get this thing to pump. But there we go, guys. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Mads and Lizzie says, F it up and give me the sauce, baby. Shout out to Matt. I almost said Mads and Lizzie. We got Satoshi Glagamoto in the chat, one of the best names in the game. Shout out to Satoshi. Thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you. Let's see. Hey, Fitness First Mindset. What is going on? Welcome in. Good to see you in here, bro. He says, Tia, Illuvium, IMX, please. Nice to see you again, Frankie. Thanks for Tia. I got in a nice and early. Shout out to guys. We're gonna take a look at the altcoins. We'll take a look at the altcoins right now. We're gonna keep an eye here on the Bitcoin price action in case we have to break out Mrs. Candles. I need you guys to alert me in chat. I'm not even gonna set an alert, guys. Like drop the Mrs. Candles hands in the chat. If this starts dumping and we're looking at an altcoin, let me know in the chat with the Mrs. Candles hands. We'll pull it up. We'll sniff the hands, and hopefully we can get it to pump again. But I want to jump into some of these altcoins, guys. First off, taking a look at Tia. Tia sitting at 787, guys. And as you know, not only on the live stream, but we also talked about this in my altcoin market update. And shout out to the premium Discord, has been aware of this for quite some time. All the coins in that altcoin market update, guys, indeed are getting their breakout, right? We saw Tia accumulating down here in this lower range as Ethereum had already broken out, approaching its, and we'll take a look at Ethereum too, also sitting right at the POC of that previous range, right on time. But, we had Ethereum breaking this range, coming into its older volume profile, upper value, right? But Tia was lagging. Tia was lagging down here. Still a beautiful time to accumulate. I've been buying the heck out of Tia. I don't tell Mrs. Candles how much tea I bought over the past, few weeks or months. But here it is, getting the rip to the upside right on time. You look for that accumulation to get the breakout. And where are we going to get gravitated to? Up towards your value area low, sitting at 880. Right now, this candle is topped out at about 851. So we are starting to see that move. The TIA bags are pumping. Same thing with, obviously, we take a look at this often. Polka dot, same thing, right? Like, we have the accumulation down here, talking about how this was super, super undervalued. We got the short squeeze to the upside, got the premium in, about 460, 446, literally identifying that short squeeze. We got back into the range, flipped the value area low, went to the POC, flipped the POC, and now we're getting the breakout of that range. Next targets for polka dot are just going to be just like Ethereum, and I'm going to pull up Ethereum in a second. Break out of this range. Not that it has to be a straight line, although oftentimes it can be. But, next targets on Polkadot here, as we are getting a little bit of a cool-off, which is not to be, you get a huge move like this, you got to pull back at some point. But if we continue up here, could potentially be looking towards that value area low at about 1417. Not too shabby. Start flipping that to support. Look up towards these weekly and monthly naked points of controls in line with your previous value area POC. And then once you start flipping, these levels here, get above that weekly naked point of control, you can look to fill that range and rotate the value all the way up to the high. And yeah, that's pretty much what we've been looking at. And those are the next targets. Key levels of support for Polkadot. Two major levels, just simply looking at this, is going to be the previous value area high, sitting at 788. And then that POC is also going to be a very key level at about 637, right? Like, hopefully we can just bounce off the value area low. If we get stuck underneath this, we can look for the bigger move down to the POC and then maybe get the break off from there, or the breakout, I should say. Now, let's see. Hey, shout out to Hawk Crypto. Yo, Hawk Crypto and Tech. Dude, we have met. Have we met? Are you who I'm thinking about? Are you who I'm thinking of? We met at 2 conferences, I think. If I'm right, I think I'm right. You're from New York, right? I think if you are, bro, I have the weirdest memory because shout out to you. If not, ignore what I just said. But shout out to Hawk Crypto and Tech said, Frankie, hope you're well, man. You coming to Mining Disrupt Miami. Let me know. Be awesome to see you there, brother. Shout out to Hawk Crypto and Tech. I don't believe. Yes, yeah, okay. Shout out to you, bro. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, it's like you meet me and Tony. Yo, shout out to Hawk Crypto and Tech. He's a character, man. Me and Tony, we like you, bro. We met him at a conference and we were like, yo, he's our people, man. So shout out to you, man. We are not going to be there, unfortunately, but hopefully we can catch you at the next conference for sure, bro. Always fun seeing you, man. Shout out to Hawk Crypto and Tech. I never know the profile picture, so I figured it was mining. I remember you saying you were doing mining. So shout out to Hawk Crypto. Let's go. Trick Crypto Hawk 2. Oh God. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's take a quick look. Yo, shout out to Jesse, bro. Shout out to Haley Welch, guys. Shout out to Haley Welch. Anyway, speaking of seeing people at Bitcoin conferences, she was actually at Bitcoin Nashville, which is hilarious. But anyway, let's go ahead. I want to take a look at Ethereum, guys, because Ethereum just came into a very, very, very key level of resistance. Pretty much, in the same setups as the other altcoins. Lower accumulation. We saw ETH break out of this range. This is what made me alert the premium Discord about those undervalued alts, and then eventually talked about some of them on the live stream here, saying, hey, Ethereum has finally broken out of its larger accumulation range down here. This is usually the first mover for the alts, obviously. We broke out, approached the value area low, got above it, stayed above the value area low, and now where are we sitting? Simply put, right at that POC, guys. Insane the accuracy and reliability of these volume profiles. Now, you might think to yourself, here's the thing, guys. It's like doing the analysis is much different than actually trading the moves, right? Like, you could see, like, if you've been tuning in here for any longer than a week, you see this stuff play out almost every single day. And it's not as easy, right? Because at this point, right, Ethereum rips, and then you're cooling off, and you're like, oh, my God, is this ever going to go back up? Oh, my God. And then in hindsight, it's very clear, right? You break into your value area, you hold the low, and now you go to your POC. Like, when you're looking at volume profiles, guys, value area low, flip it to support, POC, flip it to support, value area high. These are the next likely places for price to go. Very simply put. And this is a perfect example of it. And this is what I'm expecting, hopefully, assuming Bitcoin doesn't just go to zero. This is what I'm going to be expecting on coins like TIA, on coins like Polkadot, on coins like many of the other ones that we'll probably look at later in the stream. But yeah, like there you go. Ethereum, POC tapped. Where are we getting the resistance? At the POC, which is also the 786 retracement of this fib pull, right? So we actually did catch a little bit of resistance on this golden pocket. We broke above it, and then we kind of stuck it as resistance, and then we break above. At that point, not only are you anticipating the POC based off the value area, but also once you get above that golden pocket, you're going to be looking for that 786 to come in next. So if we flip this purple box sitting at 35.12, this is where I'm going to be looking for a potential move up to the value area high. Now, we do have the spider line coming through, which is sitting at about $3,600, but that's kind of an intermediary level, right? Like we may get some turbulence there, maybe another pullback, but eventually, as long as we can hold above this POC, I will be looking eventually to hit that value area high at $3,700. So there you go. And, taking a look at some of these higher time frames, 3-day money flow crossover into the green might be something to look at for that next bigger move to the upside. 2-day money flow also faked out into the red and then recently just crossed back over into the green. This would indicate that the longer-term trend is going to continue to the upside, even if you get local pullbacks, right? You can get pullbacks, but the money flow is indicating the trend will likely continue up. Now, look at the last 2-day money flow. Crossover into the green, right? We wound up getting that 100% pump, up to about $4,200, right? So same thing here. Money flow crossover into the green. And it's not that it has to be the same percentage, but if we did wind up getting about a 100% pump on Ethereum, there's your $6,000 ETH. And we've talked about next levels to the upside for Ethereum between $7,000 and $12,000 potentially for a cycle peak. And we'll see. Can we go higher? We'll have to assess the situation when we get to the next targets. But, these are still the key levels I'm looking at on Ethereum. Like value area low, just to read it off for the Mafia, value area low at $3,000. Key level of support. Stay above there. POC stayed in as an open door. POC sitting at $3,467. We've now hit that. So we flipped that level. Going to be looking up towards about $3,700 for Ethereum. Knowing that spider line is there at about $3,600. So there you go. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Samano says, I feel ignored. Shout out to Samano said, will we have a chance to buy ETH at 3K? Shout out to Samano. Will we have a chance to buy ETH at 3K? I will say there was a chance to buy ETH at 3K right here at the value area low. We kind of hung out down here for a while as that money flow was crossing over into the green on the 10-hour. So I don't know. It's very hard to say. Is it impossible to reject the POC and come back down to the value area low? No, that's not impossible. But at this point, right, assuming that this this drop on Bitcoin is not like some kind of catastrophic end of the bull market. And remember, guys, another thing on Bitcoin that was a little bit interesting to me, right? One of the reasons why we were looking at this as a potential possibility of a bigger pullback was simply based off of the fact that we front ran $100,000 by a whole lot, right? A lot of people probably holding their longs for 100K. And we basically front ran 100K by a few bucks. And it kind of like very market maker type stuff to do. The mean market maker, just front run it and give us the dump. And that was kind of part of the reason. Now, we did hit 100K on the CME exchange, but, that front run, it wound up playing out, right? So will we get a chance to buy ETH at 3K? Really hard to say. Also looking at Bitcoin dominance, right? This is something we've been looking at recently as well. Whoops. Come on over to crypto here, right? Coming up to our golden pocket on Bitcoin dominance. We marked this out as key. And the fact that we got a rejection here, I got a question in the premium Discord asking Frankie, if Bitcoin pulls back, aren't the alts just going to follow? And that is generally correct, right? And very oftentimes the case. But when you see Bitcoin dominance fall down, this is where you're looking for people to take some of those profits from Bitcoin and roll them over into the altcoin. So in this scenario, it's more of a rotation of the money rather than just like Bitcoin's dumping because we're bearish. And then in that case, most things follow. But if we see Bitcoin come down a little bit or even consolidate, people taking those profits off the table, rolling them into the high and mid cap altcoins, which are kind of the ones that we're seeing run. Right? So it all makes sense, and it's all kind of right on time, in my opinion. So assuming that this is not just, assuming this is going to roll money over into the altcoins, I do think, I've been saying this, right? Like, I think that we could be at that point in the cycle where it's very risky to wait for pullbacks, right? And this is why I've kind of been screaming the whole lower value accumulation moving into these upper areas of value, is because we're kind of approaching that point in the cycle where, like, I don't know how much longer I don't know how much lower people want the alts to go, right? Like, when you're looking at something like TIA, like, I mean, if you believe in TIA as a project, like, I don't know how much lower people wanted this to go, right? Now, does this mean that we can't go lower? Absolutely not, right? Like, anything can happen. The market does crazy things sometimes. But, relatively speaking, it made a lot of sense to be like, hey, I don't know how much lower this is going to go. ETH has already broken out. We've seen Dogecoin. We've seen a lot of the higher cap altcoins go. Like, this is probably going to follow. And we're at that point in the cycle where, like, waiting for, for me, I DCA'd in. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't snipe the bottom here. Right? I started buying, I don't remember exactly when, but if I buy a little here, I bought a little here. Buy a little here, here. Oh my God, I bought the top, but that's okay because you come back down, right? And you dollar cost average in to get a pretty nice entry somewhere in the middle, right? Instead of just waiting for a pullback to dump all your money in. It's very hard to time those bottoms, right? If TIA wound up breaking the range here and coming lower, I would have kept buying, right? And I still would have gotten an average entry price somewhere in here, right? So in my opinion, it is kind of risky at this point to be waiting for massive pullbacks. So when it comes to can you buy ETH at 3K again, it's very hard to say. Will there be another opportunity? There could be, right? But for me, like, I love dollar cost averaging in, right? Like, that, it kind of takes that guesswork out, right? If you were down here looking at this and you dollar cost average in, you're thinking like, well, hey, I dollar cost average in, at least I have some for this move up. If it continues up, at least I'm in. But if it dipped back down, I could just dollar cost average back in, right? You don't have to try to snipe the top or the bottom. It's honestly a very dangerous game to play, especially if you're new to the market, because it's going to be hard. Like, if you haven't been around this and you haven't, like, bitten the bullet and, like, just bought at lows when there's fear, it's very hard to pull that trigger, right? Like, rightfully so, right? Like, when things are dumping, it gets very, very scary. And no, like I've been saying with a lot of the alts, like, no one wants to buy ETH when it's down here. They all want to buy it after it pumps. So shout out to Samano. Great question, bro. The answer is, can we go back down to 3K? Sure, maybe. But I do think we're at that point where it's somewhat risky to wait for those bigger pullbacks. So take that for what you will. I can't tell you whether to buy or not, because I could say, hey, wait, you'll get a correction, and then it doesn't come. And so you got to make your own financial decisions. This is never financial advice, guys, obviously. But yeah, that is kind of what I would say, right? Like, I think this was a great chance to buy it at $3,000. You got the pull into your range, and then you got the pullback. There was potentially your chance to buy 3K. But again, even if you start DCAing in somewhat aggressively up here, like for me, if I had no ETH, right? Like, if ETH goes to 7K and I have, X amount of money I want to dump into the market, and I think it's going to $7,000, 100% on your money, right? So I wouldn't feel that horrible if I held no ETH. I hold a ton of ETH from way lower. But if I didn't, right, like dollar cost average, if you get the pullback, cool, average in. If you get the rip, at least you're, you got some at this lower price. But very, very hard to call here. So shout out to Samano. Great question. A little bit of a long-winded answer, but hopefully that helps you out. Let's see. TDK says, what happens if BTC hits MicroStrategy's 57K margin call? Black Swan, send it to 12K. Black Swan, send it to 12K. Shout out to TDK. I don't know. For me personally, TDK, it's a great question. I don't know. I would be playing it to level. Me personally, the way I trade, the way I invest, it's very level to level, right? So it's impossible to start calling what's going to happen at 57K. My general thought is, I don't really know. I huge liquidation. I don't really know, right? To be quite honest, I like being totally transparent. If I had like a strong opinion on what that would wind up playing out like, I would say it. I don't really have a strong opinion, and for me, it's hard for me, and to be honest, like hard to do in general. When you're up here, what are we sitting at? 93.2, 93.3, right? Like, I don't really spend a lot of time trying to figure out like what will happen if we get back into this range. Like I always think to myself like, oh well, if we come down here and we come down to this range low, is that a long or is that just like bull market over territory? And the fact of the matter is like, there's really even no reason to be even trying to figure out what happens down here because depending on how we get there, how it happens, what's going on at the time, what the price action looks like, it has to be an if this then that statement, right? Especially for a technical analyst. I'd have to wait until we got down there and like assess kind of what's going on. But yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Well, I will say this. Sailor's dodged all of his margin calls so far. So, this is a very, like, again, right? Like, just to kind of put this into perspective. We're down 7%. This is not scary. Yet. But yeah, it's, I would personally, the way I do it, I would have to wait to get down there. But it's a great question. That's a really good question. That would be wild. Let's see. Bada boom. Oh, baby, getting close to entry on the scalp long. Oh, no. Okay, so let's continue on here with some of the altcoins, guys. Let's take a look here. Solana, yes, we could take a look at Solana. Oh, yeah, baby. She's back down to 235. Back down to 235. Shout out to TDK. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I say that because Tino said be careful. Sailor could be bankman of this round to make things fall. Shout out to TDK. I hope not. I really, really, really hope not. That would be absolutely miserable. Shout out to Tino from Trader to Reality. I hope not. But definitely, like, listen, I mean, if we get down to 57K, like, if that could be the fact of the matter, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a plausible possibility. So, yeah, that would be, oh, God, could you imagine, guys, if Bitcoin tops out at $99,000 or just, I mean, listen, it hit 100K on the CME exchange. But if we, if we just wound up coming down here and just absolutely nuking, like, that would be the most disappointing bull run ever in history. Doesn't mean it can't happen. But that would be, woo. Fun's over, boys. Pack it up. I don't know. Well, the good news is if that does wind up happening from where we are now, we are short from the tizzy top, baby. 100K for Christmas. Hey, B-Rad, I hope so. I hope so, bro. We're slipping. Oh, she's slipping. Oh, my God. We're down 200, guys. Just like that. We lost all our money. We're poor. I'm just kidding. We still got the short here, so we're kind of just covered. Actually, kind of covered somewhat even here. I'm going to hold this. Oh, God, hang on. Bat phone is ringing. Let me just make sure that is nothing scary or bad. Bitcoin's going to zero. Sell everything now. Oh, God, my cousin just texted me, guys. I'm not cousin with Satoshi, by the way. I'm just kidding, guys. But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Tamaz. Hopefully I said that right. Said we get a 20 to 30% cool off. Totally normal for a bull run. Can't argue with you there, bro. Panic time. Shout out to Bitfrog. 240K by Christmas. BTPP. I'm here for it, bro. Smell said, we're in the poorhouse now, boys. Pack it up, guys. The fun's over. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, guys. Like, I'll just say this before we move on to Solana, XRP, and then we'll take some votes for altcoins. Before we move on too much, guys, I will just say, in crypto, in a bull market, if you are new here, please take it from someone. This is my third cycle. Take it from someone who's been through all the emotions, been through the ups and the downs, been through people calling for higher in every single bull market. I'm sure they were doing it back here. I was not in crypto back here. I got in crypto here. But everyone's calling for $1 million. Everyone's calling for $1 million. Everyone's calling for $1 million. Everyone's calling for $1 million, right? And what happens? Like Bitcoin just does what you think it would based off a 4-year cycle. Now, will the people who say this time is different be right eventually? Yes. Things are different. Every cycle that goes by, things are a little bit different, especially now. Pro-crypto president, institutional interest. There's a ton of things that are different now. But people are going to call, right? Just like they were calling for 100K here and probably 80K here, whatever it was. People are going to be calling for $1 million. And also, it's going to feel like it's up only, which it is definitely not, which is why I always bring you back to the previous 2021 cycle, right? Like, even this, right? Like, this was if we're matching up time, This is a little bit different of an area in the chart, right? But 20%, right? The low is in. Obviously, we think the bear market low is in at this point. But this was on our rise to the upside. 20% down. Even here, this is 10% down. We're not even at this yet, right? We're not even here. We're not even here yet. Here, 15% down, totally normal. Another 11%, totally normal. Another 10%, totally normal, right? Could be one of these, totally normal. Could be one of these, 20%, totally normal. Could be this, right? This brought you down 31%, totally normal. And you just keep coming up. Even here, oh my God, 22%, oh my God, it's all over. It's all over. Right back to the upside, right? So we are in a bull market. You have to keep that in mind. Again, I don't want people thinking that means that you can't go down like crazy. But you got to be real. And now you look at this, like we're down 6.5%, right? So take a deep breath. Nothing to panic about just yet. So yeah, we're in a very, very bullish market right now. And you have to be ready to stomach these pullbacks even in a bull market. And that's why I show you the lines in the sand on kind of where you should be kind of concerned, right? Like we start coming down to that 77K zone. We start losing that and retesting these highs, guys. Like that's not good in my opinion. But look how far away we are from that. That doesn't even bring you I mean, the market is going to scare you, right? Now, again, is it going to happen like that if we do get that? No, not in my opinion, right? But even if we got and you have to understand also as the asset matures, the moves up and the moves down become less explosive and less of a percentage move for the most part, right? You see this like most clearly exemplified on the all-time highs, right? 13,000%, 2,000%, right? Like massive, massive changes in the explosive moves down, right? Like even from the top of 2013 to 2015 or 16, right? 86%, 2017 high to the 2020 lows, 85%. The highs from the last bull market, 78%, right? So these percentages get less and less over time. So maybe we don't see the 30%. Maybe it's 25%. It's really hard to call. But that's why I give you the lines in the sand on where kind of I would start panicking. And that if you missed that analysis, scrub back to the beginning of the show. We talk about all the levels, everything you need to know. Go watch it. Let's dump it, baby. Let's dump it. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Solana really quickly here. Again, this is why I say all the time, you do not want to FOMO into coins that are pumping, right? This is why, we say, don't chase the pumpers. Don't chase, Dogecoin after a massive move. There's going to be some kind of a pullback, maybe even more of a pullback here, right? Why would I chase something that has already ripped from the higher low 500% when I can look at things while Dogecoin was all the way up at 500%, I was buying TIA all the way down here, which is now up 100% almost, right? Or went up 100%. So that's, keep that in mind, right? Now, Solana, let's take a look here. Here's our key levels, right? We used this old volume profile pulled from the top of 2021 here, and we extrapolated those, to the right to our current price action. I mean, got above, POC, held the value area low, back to the POC, flip the POC, back to the high, back to the POC, lose the POC, back down to the low, reject the POC, back down to the low, hold the low, back to the POC, back to the high, deviation above, and now we are back within the range. And where do we expect price to go? When you get back into that range, you're looking to get stuck in the range, go to the POC, lose the POC, go to the value area low, which makes our key level of support $229.56 for Solana. If this continues down, this will be your level of support. If you cannot hold that, I would simply, get rid of this fib. If we lose this value area low, sitting at 229.56, I would simply be looking for the rotation of value, right? If we start building value in here or more value in here and we impulse out, we're going to look down to our previous area of value, which is sitting down here between 207 and 218. We lose it. That's key support on your value area high. Once you get stuck underneath here, you're looking to go to the POC, which is sitting right here at 213.44. Lose the POC, looking to go down to the low at 207.36. So these are, I'll mark these out so you guys can, mark them off on your chart if you'd like. That's the next value area below us for me, right? And this is our current value area. All marked out. You can copy those out. And yeah, we came into the, this was our upper target where we were looking for the $265 Solana based off our Fibonacci extensions. And we wound up getting a little turbulence. It's okay. It's okay, right? Solana has been screaming to the upside. Pullbacks are okay. Pullbacks are normal. Again, pullbacks can eventually become bad and very worrisome. But as of right now, there's nothing to really panic about, in my opinion. Let's see. Jim Cramer said buy Bitcoin last week, top signal. Okay. Forget what I said. Everything I just said is invalid, guys. Cramer said buy Bitcoin, sell it all. Like, you gotta wonder, right? Is someone telling him what to say? Like, it's crazy. I will be honest, guys. Like, I forget what I was watching. I was watching something, and someone who knew Cramer was on the show, and they were talking about how, like, he gets a really bad rap. He's actually like a really good investor, apparently. Now I don't know this for sure. No, Cramer, why? But he's just become a total meme. But it is also crazy because, like, based off what that guy said, he's like, yeah, he's actually really good. He just gets these like really bad raps. But I mean, like, literally, I only see what people post, like, oh, Cramer said bye, and then it dumps and whatever. I don't watch Jim Cramer, so I can't really. That's why we're dumping. Shout out to Sarah. But yeah, I mean, dang! Every time I hear that guy saying you should buy or sell, it's like always the opposite. How does Cramer feel about being a real life Cramer? Shout out to XRP. XRP Armor, or is that a more? Shout out to XRP. Yeah, how does it always work? I don't know. It's funny. Like, you almost have to be as skillful to nail it in the opposite way. Right? Like if you're new to trading, it's very often that you're like, shorting the lows and then longing the tops and getting wrecked every single time. But like, in a way, you're still calling the tops and the bottoms. You're just doing the wrong thing. Right? And that's why I tell new traders, like, oftentimes, like, the easiest way without learning anything to do better at trading if you're losing all the time is just inversely trade yourself. If you think you should long, just short. Because you're probably, when you're new and you don't really know a lot, you're probably going to get it wrong 100% of the time almost. So just inverse trade yourself. Like, I really want to long here. Just short. You'll probably wind up playing out. Not a legit strategy, but if you're new, go back in bar replay mode on TradingView, risk-free trading, and try that. It's almost like if you start entering your trades where you would originally put your stop loss, you'll wind up winning your trades more often than not. It's an inside job. I think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, shout out to Wick. Maybe Wick Ross. Yo, shout out to Wick Ross. A pretty fire name. We got a lot of Wicks in the chat. We got Wick589 and his wife, Wick589, the OG Wicks. And now we got Wick Boss. Shout out to Wick Boss. What are we? Anyway, let's continue on here, guys. Yeah. You think there is? There might be an inverse Jim Cramer. No. Come on. Dang it. that'd be fire. No, Wick589. You can't change your handle, bro. You have to keep the OG Wick589. It's crazy. When people change their names or their profile pictures, it makes it so hard for me to find them because I'm used to looking for other stuff. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. Said almost 1,800 people in here. Smash that like button if you want Bitcoin to dump. Also, smash it if you want it to pump. I was going to say, I was like, I don't know if people are going to smash the like button. I don't think anyone wants it to dump. But yeah, shout out to Tony D. If you're in a short, smash that like button for a dump. If you're in a long or just holding spot bags, smash that like button for Bitcoin to pump. But looking at Solana here, guys, real quick, like, those are the key levels I'm looking at. And to be quite honest, right, again, this doesn't mean we're bearish forever, right? But 4-hour money flow starting to come out a little bit. 2-hour money flow trending out here, right? You are potentially looking to put some bull divs in here on Solana. If we can get that into the value area low, could get a little bit of a retracement there. But money flow right now is pointing more. Yeah, I would say it's pointing a little bit more, like even the 6-hour, 5-hour money flow coming out. Like, if we see these money flows cross into the red, it would indicate like even a retracement could give you another continuation to the downside. Understanding you're in a bull market. You can't trade the money flow the same way that you trade it in sideways price action or bearish price action, right? Like, putting more weight on money flow crossovers into the green than we are into the red as of right now, until we really start breaking, major levels. All right, let's continue on here. Shout out to Fitness First Mindset said, Frankie is honestly like a therapist to me. Gives me the confidence I need in these hectic markets. Yeah, shout out to the Fitness First Mindset. I'm glad. I love that, right? Because, listen, like, even when you get quick drops, I talk about this with the volume, visible range volume profile all the time, right? Like, if you pull up the VPVR, or the VRVP, as some people call it, right? Like, if we lose this value area low, guys, what could we expect by looking at this volume? Let's take Market Cipher off the chart, right? We have high volume here, right? We've built some value up here, right? So we have a high volume node here, high volume node here, high volume node here. Price, if you're new to this channel or you're new to reading the charts, the visible range volume profile is one of the easiest tools you can use to try to anticipate or try to learn volume profiles and how they interact or how they're able to call where price is going to go. Price, this, when you see volume spike out like this is a high volume node, this is a high volume node, this is a high volume node, HVN, HVN, HVN. These are low volume nodes or low volume gaps. Just like price likes to stick to the high volume nodes like magnets, and you can see that represented here and here and here, right? High volume node accumulation or consolidation. High volume node consolidation. High volume node consolidation. Now, the reason the high volume node is there is because we spent time up here, right? But with that, the areas that price did not trade a lot of volume at, right? When you get these big pushes to the upside, they create these low volume gaps. So if we get stuck back under this value area low, we are at danger of falling through this gap and getting another quick move down to our next key level of support sitting at $218. Simply put, right? And then what are we going to expect? Little consolidation in here potentially. If we lose that, could get a quick move down to this node. Lose this, could get a bigger drop down to this node. And these low volume gaps are always going to be represented by quick moves up or quick moves down, oftentimes. So when you see that, this is how you can kind of take a little bit of the emotion out of things, because instead of just being like, oh my God, why are we getting this big dump? You could think to yourself, well, hey, we have this low volume gap. That's what we're falling through. Where's that next area of support? It's sitting right here. And more often than not, you will get that support where you're looking at it. Let's see. Shout out to TDK said, Market Cipher B, 1 hour, 16-hour kicking in on USDT dominance. Oh, no. We don't want Bitcoin dominance to go down into USDT dominance, guys. We want it to go into total 3. No, that's not what we want. Shout out to TDK. No. Thank you for the super chat. No, don't say that. That's not what we want. Let's take a look at USDT dominance. Oh, God, she's pumping. Let me see here. God, I love that we can make money going up or down. Because here's the thing, guys. If you're new to this market, I'm just going to say this as a public service announcement. If you are new to trading, if you are new to crypto, just understand, if you got here, you might as well stay. If something crazy bearish happens and we get a black swan or some kind of big move to the downside and the fun gets stopped short, we make money on these moves. You can make money when price goes down just as much as you can make money on price going up, right? It's a little different because we do it leverage trading, but we are literally, again, I've already taken profits on this, but if this continues, I'm already up $1,600 unrealized on this short. If we continue to dump, we continue to make money. You do not have to have money go up. You don't have to have price go up to make money. And short still kind of just sitting here, near break even. So if you're here and you want to make money in crypto and you don't want to have to wait for the dang bull markets, and again, I'm not saying the bull market's over by any means, but if we did see something crazy happen, just understand that, could potentially, continue to make money here even on the way down. That's why I love trading, right? Because I'm not really worried. Like if this is over and it's like we're gonna go down like even for a little while before going back up, it's like we don't have to wait. Like my spot bags won't pump anymore, obviously. Right? We're gonna take a little stall on the spot bags, but we could still get that active profit on the push to the downside. It's awesome. There was a time in my life I didn't know you could do that. Once I figured out you could do that, I was like, oh my God, it's over. This is gonna be my life. So yeah. Let's see. Denny says, what's the name of the indicator you just talked about? That is Market Cipher B. If you want to check it out, you can save some money using our discount code MCFrank20. And yeah, there you go. Hope that answers your question. It looks like the Mafia already did. Shout out to Daniel Wright. Says $200 a day is $60K a year. Exactly. Right? You don't have to be making like 10K a day or 3K a day or 1,500 a day or 1,000 a day or 500 a day. 200 a day can totally change your life. 60K a year, right? You don't have to go, and I recommend you go for the slow and small gains. Don't focus on money at first. Nothing comes easy. You have to put the work in, right? Focus on the strategies, focus on the TA, focus on getting consistent percentages over time. Making 5% on $100 is the same trades as making 5% on 100,000. Don't chase the money. If you find yourself on the chart right now, if you're saying, oh man, I missed this short, I want to FOMO in, you're chasing money. Don't chase the money. Chase the skill of reading the charts and the strategies that can help you get the calls right. And then you can always increase the capital, whether you're saving money to put into an account, whether you're going for a funded account, whatever it is. You can always chase the increase in capital. Don't chase money. Chase the skill of learning how to read the charts and risk management and mental discipline, right? Those are the things that make you profitable. There's a million different strategies you can use that work. It doesn't have to be my strategy, right? Although those work very, very well. But there's a million different strategies out there. A lot of people think everybody's looking for the shortcut. Everybody's looking for that one-word answer. Like, if you're out trading, never really, like, a lot of people are looking not just for the shortcut, but they're just looking for that one thing that's going to make it click. But really what trading is a series of 1,000 things over time that make things click in your head. Oh, I never set a stop loss, right? Like, it's one of the first things people realize. They're like, oh, man, I don't set stop losses. That's why I get wrecked. And then eventually they try it and they stop losing money and they're like, oh, okay, that clicked. But that is not going to make you that's not the only thing that's going to make you profitable. There's no shortcut. There's no like one-word answer. It takes time. But once you put that time in and you put the work in and the dedication and you have the mental discipline to take profits and manage your risk, it is the most rewarding thing on earth. The most rewarding thing on earth. You get to sit on your computer and make money from wherever you want. You don't have to listen to a boss, right? Now, it's not a get-rich-quick thing, right? It's going to take time. It's going to take work. But it literally, nothing good comes quickly. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the work. And it should motivate you. I say this to the premium Discord all the time. That should motivate you. Because if it was get rich quick, right, it's almost every time is a scam, right? And the fact that you can do this with hard work, and it requires hard work, should be encouraging. Because it means it's possible. It's just not easy. Nothing that is worthwhile is. There you go. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway, back to the charts here, guys. Shout out to whoever started that, put me on that rant. I appreciate you. Bada boom, bada bing. Where's it going? Shout out to Jordan wants to see XRP. So, so we took a look at Solana. You guys kind of, I think, have an idea of what I'm looking for there. We can take a look at XRP. Another thing that our beautiful analysis helped us figure out where it was going, guys. Just for anybody new. And again, if you're new to volume profiles, these volume profiles are overpowered. This was our doorway to higher prices back here in the beginning of the month. We were tapping our head. Not only this is, and I'm going to give you guys a little sneak, a little not sneak peek, but a little bonus kind of thing that we look at to potentially anticipate bigger moves up on the altcoins. Number one, on XRP, I'll just show you what I was looking at on XRP, and then you can apply this to whatever altcoin you want if you're using Market Cipher. 10-hour money flow crossover into the green. This on top of a weekly green dot. If you have that 10-hour money flow crossover printing at the same time that you have this weekly green dot printing, this is oftentimes, or this money flow crossover on the 10-hour is oftentimes the thing that indicates the trend, continuation to the upside. Money flow indicates the trend, right? And we know if we can get above this value area low, it's our doorway to higher prices, making the next likely area for price to go the POC, sitting at 82 cents. It's beautiful. And we now know, once you get above the POC, you're looking for price to go where? Up to the value area high. What happens? You hit the value area high, you get the cool off. And now, we know, or we've been looking at recently, if we break out of here, where's that next target to the upside? It's going to hunt out previous balance, which is simply the next area of balance. Let me zoom out of here a little bit. That next area of balance is simply sitting up here from that 2018 bull market high. Getting very close to breaking our all-time high here on XRP from the 2021 bull run, which obviously didn't make a new all-time high. But clear roadmap here, guys. Like, once you understand these volume profiles, it just becomes clear. Now, again, it's not just going to click and you're going to make $1 million overnight. That's not how it works, right? But the market becomes clear. Understanding where the market's going and trying to predict moves over time is they go hand in hand, but it's a different skill than trading. You can be really good at TA, right? You can be really good at TA and calling targets and calling the next move. But if you can't manage the risk, because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is you're not going to be right 100% of the time. And because of that, calling the move it's fine, right? If I'm going to say, hey, like if I was just calling this move, right? Like, hey, guys, if we break above here, we can go to the POC. That's all fine and dandy, and that's a skill in itself. But if you're taking the trade, it's a totally different skill to have the mental discipline to watch this trade go into drawdown a little bit, right? For a potential move back into the range, right? That's a whole different skill. And it's also a different skill to cut your loss once this gets invalidated and you start breaking key levels to get out of the trade and take the loss and not just pray, yeah, but if it goes in here, we're going to the high. That has to happen. You're never going to be right 100% of the time. So doing the analysis and having the mental discipline, the risk management discipline to actually make money trading. I say this all the time. You can be the best analyst in the world. It does not make you a good trader, right? They're two different skills. They go together, but they're two different skills. Right? I could say, hey, this is going to the POC, so I 100x long, right? Like I get 100x long right here because I think we're going to break this level and no stop loss, and then I get liquidated here. Sure. Was I able to predict that we're going to get above this high and go to the POC? Sure. But I still got wrecked. Doesn't mean you're going to make money trading. And that's the thing that's hard. The TA is 20% of it. 80% is the discipline and the risk management. Keep that in mind. Now, with that being said, granted, that was not the case here. We wound up just seeing everything happen perfectly, but that's not 100% of the time. But yeah, we break out here. What happens? Next target was the $1.60 XRP. I think I said it the other day. Can we see a $1.60 XRP sometime soon? I think we can, and here we are. Now, if we continue up, this is the same thing from down here. We flip this value area low to support. We're going to be looking up towards that POC. This is the next likely place for price to go if we hold that value area low as support. So hold that POC, we can then look up to the value area high, sitting at 250. And at that point, this is really kind of where those previous value areas kind of fall off, right? At that point, the next place you're looking at is going to be the all-time high, which is sitting at 331. Good Lord. Shout out to Tony D. Hey, Tony D, remember this? Remember when XRP was all the way up at $3? God, it's crazy. If you told me and Tony that when we were back here trading XRP at not buying it at $3, but back here in the 2017 cycle, if you told us we'd be doing this right now, probably wouldn't believe you. But what a wild ride, Tony. What a wild ride. Yeah, once you get above this value area high, like you're really at that point where the all-time high is the only thing stuck in your way. Start breaking above that all-time high. Looking at target number 1 at about $5.28. Potentially. Frankie, what's your all-time high prediction for XRP? Obviously, it's $1 million, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Between $5 and $14. That's what I'm looking at, right? On the upper end, maybe $20. And then we reassess the situation as it comes, right? It's impossible for me to tell you what price is going to do if it gets to $14 while we're down here, right? Obviously. There's so much information that has to come in. And we may never even get there, right? So, hey, shout out to Cali Crypto Dude. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you so much, bro. He says, I appreciate the TED Talks. Always lifts our morale. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's important. Morale is important in crypto, let me tell you, because the 6% move can cause panic in the streets. But if you understand how to read the charts, and again, I'm not saying that, listen, Frankie, could $99.787, $99,780, whatever this high was, could this be the high forever? Could this be 99,776? Could that have been the top of the bull run? Technically, yeah, nothing's impossible, right? So, but as of right now, nothing is really, we haven't broken any key levels, right? At this point, all this is right now is a 6% pullback. So, goose frappa. I know, hey, I'm happy that I'm that guy. Because I know it's hard. I feel the emotions sometimes too, right? I just don't act on them. Most of the time. I still make mistakes. Sometimes I still react off emotion, but I try to nip it in the bud as soon as it happens. Shout out to Wix Wi-Fi89 said, poor Phoebe. She's so lonely. Shout out to Phoebe. Yeah, she's actually sleeping right in here next to me. She heard you say her name. Let's see. You're doing God's work, boss. Shout out to Jordan. I appreciate you, bro. I'm honestly just doing what I like to do. This is honestly what I love to do. And it wouldn't be as fun doing it by myself. And so shout out to you guys. Like, the only reason I do this and I'm able to do this is because the Mafia shows up every single day. So I appreciate you. So if you're in the Mafia, smash that like button, guys. And on these live streams, guys, I don't really ask for anything. I'll ask, smash that like button. Easiest and most free way to support the channel. Even our affiliate links, right? Like, you get, like, most people will get a benefit from using any of our stuff. Like, we always try to provide the most value. Like, even with our links, like, Tony tries to get the best deals. Even with our discounts, with indicators or whatever, we always try to get the best deal for the Mafia. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Eternity Gang. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, let's continue on. And we took a look at Solana. We took a look at XRP. And to be quite honest, like, can we get a pullback on XRP? I mean, hey, like, 90-minute money flow crossing over into the red. Somebody put it in the chat. What am I going to go to now? I see that 90-minute money flow crossover. What time frame am I going to go for to look at for potential confluence for a bigger move down? Let me see if you guys get it. Am I bullish on quant? What's your price prediction this cycle? Shout out to Dot. Shout out to Polka Dot. But yeah, we can take a look at quant. Let me write some of this stuff down so I give the people what they want. We got to give the Mafia what they want. We won't be able to look at every single altcoin, so just keep that in mind. I will say this, guys. I think what I'm going to start doing here is ask that people don't super chat altcoins. And the reason for that is I just don't want people to get disappointed if they don't if we don't, because we're never going to be able to look at every single altcoin. So I don't want people to like waste money on super chats if we're not going to be able to look at things. I look at the free chat. Like all the chats that I'm reading right now are free. So just keep that in mind. Like if it's a super chat, it doesn't guarantee we look at it. Let me see here real quick. I got to make sure I'm like pointed towards the mic here while I try to write this stuff down. Okay, so let's come on. Okay, so we can take a look at quant. You don't have to spam your altcoins. I'll just keep an eye on chat, but I'm just going to write quant because I do want to see. There we go, daily. Shout out to B-Rad Crypto. Yo, let's go, let's go. Some people know the daily. Let's go. Dave Hagen paying attention. 90-minute money flow. Do we have it? You guys probably already looked. No, we don't have it. Okay, so if you're wondering what I'm looking for here, if this 90-minute money flow crossover was occurring at the same time, you see this, right? Money flow crossing into the red. If we were seeing this with a daily red dot printing at the exact same time, this would be a bearish scenario, right? Oftentimes when you see those two things line up, it calls for a much bigger move down or a trend to the downside. Very similar to how the 10-hour money flow crossover into the green occurring right here at the same time as the weekly green dot calls for a much bigger move up. There's specific time frames that we look at this on, and those are just two of them, weekly and 10-hour, daily and 90-minute, right? And this works for green dots with money flow crossovers into the green as well as red dots and money flow crossovers into the red. But we don't have that, right? Because the daily red dot is not printing. It's been confirmed for 2 days now. So that is not the case. All right, getting another little bounce here. Trade back in the green. All right, we're still alive, guys. We didn't lose everything just yet. Come on. Give us a retracement. Give us a gold. Give us some golden pocket. Give me some pocket here. Give me some golden pocket. Come on. Give us a retracement. Give us a local retracement. Give us this. Come on. Let's make a few bucks. But anyway, so yeah, that would have been a little alarming for XRP if that were the case, but it's not. 2-day red dot printing, right? And again, could this give a little bit more of a pullback? Sure. Key level to the downside, value area high at $1.21, right? We start losing that, you're at risk of getting accepted back into your lower range, which at that point, I'd probably be looking closer down towards that POC of the range. And let me just pull this macro fib here from the impulse to the high. Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely POC is going to be key there as well. But value area high in the POC at 82.5 cents. Going to be those key levels of support. Let me pull an anchored VWAP here for you guys as well from this impulse. See it from back here. Yeah, I actually don't love the... Yeah, by the time if we do get down here, like this is going to move so much anyway. But yeah, those are going to be the key levels. Very simply put, you're just in between volume profiles. If we go up, right, if we push up, key level of resistance, flip it to support, doorway to higher prices. Come down here. This is definitely key support, but if you prove it otherwise and we get stuck underneath, that is your doorway to lower prices. So you're kind of in no man's land up here. So we'll see what happens. You're either going to go through the door of higher prices or go through the door of lower prices. But at least you have those levels on the chart so you can keep them in mind and understand the highest likelihood scenario here. And, I mean, hey, guys, Mafia. If we did want to pull those exact current levels, here we go. We're going to snipe this old volume profile from back here. I'm going to go ahead and extrapolate these levels to the right. And let's see if these levels were respected. Hopefully this inspires you guys to start using volume profiles. Huh. That's weird. Crazy. We didn't actually tap the value area high here. Kind of roughed out that range. I might have been able to pull it a little better. But in general, these levels are probably going to be hold up, in my opinion, right? So, again, in the grand scheme of things, we're kind of in no man's land, right? Right? You have your big lower range, right? And then you have your Where is it? Next upper range, right? But you also do have a value area in between, right? So I know this is kind of hard to like look at. It's like a little bit confusing to a lot of people, I'm sure. Right? So let me just put these all next to each other. Right? So you're in no man's land, but if we take away the bigger ranges, you can also just look at this locally, right? So yeah, like these could be like local levels to look at. Value area low, key support, $1.23, which again is confluent with your pretty close to your value area high, which is another key level of support. Right? So you come down here, could be looking for longs, but once you start losing this level, it's going to be the doorway to lower prices, right? So right now, I'm going to make this doorway to lower prices. Right? In the same way that this is your doorway. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is already labeled. Doorway to higher prices. Right? And then you want to take the local range away. Bada boom. You just look at it like this. So there you go. Those are some of the key levels I'd be looking at on XRP. But from a higher time frame perspective, I mean, we'll see what happens. 2-day red dot could pull you back. So I'd watch the key levels, to be quite honest. Shout out to Flame, said, tell me about ETH. Is it going more down or taking support? Any trend line support or broke? Shout out to Flame. We actually did just take a look at Ethereum, Flame. If you want to go back and check that out, I give you my somebody asked, can we buy ETH at $3,000 ever again? And I go over everything. So scrub back to the beginning or scrub back until you see ETH. We actually go over everything, and you'll get all the sauce there. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, Flame. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Div X-Ray. Let's go. I'm pinning this, bro. Screw the, what is pinned? What do we have pinned here? I don't want to mess anything up. It's the Blowfin deal. I'm going to take this pinned comment off because I'm putting Div X-Ray's message up there. But if you guys want to sign up for Blowfin, link in the description down below. But we got to celebrate, Div X-Ray here. Replace pinned message. I listened to you about Tia, and you made me $60K. You rock, dude. I sold everything yesterday. Let's go. Shout out to Div X-Ray, bro. And, guys, not financial advice, but if you're saying the information and the analysis that I provided caused you to go to the chart, do your own analysis, and then make your own financial decisions. And I'm here for it, Div X-Ray. Let's go, baby. Bing, bong. We're going to throw some money for you, bro. What do you say, 60K? I don't have 60K here. I only have, I think this is like 11. But we're going to throw it for you, bro. And Mrs. Candles, when she says, come on, can you stop throwing the money? I'm going to be like, Div X-Ray made 60K. Let's go. Shout out to Tia, baby. Bing, bong. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to Div X-Ray. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. I love seeing the Mafia win. All right, let's see. Hey, I was using that. Shout out to Tony D. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. But Div X-Ray's out there getting wins. Let's celebrate. But anyway, let's continue on here. We took a look at XRP, Solana. Let's take a quick look at Quant here. I really quant to look at Quant. Let's see. Take a look at the Coinbase chart. Nope. I'm trying to find as much price history as possible. Okay, so here we are. This is 2021. This is 2024. Okay. So, this is interesting. This is a little bit of a weird, this is how I would view this. Very similar, I mean, pretty much like everything else, right? So, I'll mark this out. Boom. Boom. POC, value area high. Okay, so, yeah, this is somewhat similar to DOT, where you kind of deviated below that bear market kind of bottom, right? We went lower. We wound up breaking that low here. Or actually, no, we didn't break the actual bear market low, but we broke that range low, right? And yeah, I mean, this is just in terms of the volume profiles, right? Like you're just looking at this as value, and this is undervalued, right? You deviate below that range. This is an undervalued asset. When price decides to get imbalanced back up, it is going to seek the fair value, which is right here where we're sitting. Literally. It's like you can't make it up. And this is not magic, guys. This is just the idea of rotating value. But come down to a lower time frame, like you could see, we're just playing around with this level now. You get above, you flip it to support, you go to the POC. You lose that, go back down to the value area low, deviate below, back in towards the POC, and now we're just deviating below again. But in general, like this is your key zone to get above. You flip this purple box into support. This is where I would anticipate Quant to start to want to move up. Right? POC sitting right here at 104.89. flip this to support. That's where I'd look up to about 135 bucks, right? And then even at that point, right, like for me, I have bought a bunch of quant. However, if I were to accumulate more, if you think quant is going to break out and at least go to its previous all-time high at $422. Now, again, I talked to the premium Discord about this. Just because this was once at $415 does not guarantee you that it's going back up there. I think a lot of people, they see Bitcoin always breaks its all-time high. Ethereum breaks its all-time high all the time, right? But look at XRP. One of the highest market cap coins did not make a new all-time high in 2017, obviously based off they were suppressed by the I almost said CFT, the SEC lawsuit, right? So, and you don't always need some kind of crazy lawsuit to suppress price like that. So keep that in mind, right? Like there's no guarantees that you get up there. There's a lot of like calculations that you want to do. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. But from a chart perspective, if you've done the research and you believe quant's going to break out into new all-time highs, I mean, this is still a decent time to accumulate in this range, right? Not even down where we are now, just in this range in general. You get the breakout, you can look to, not only go towards the all-time high, but I'll give you the local levels as well. And shout out to Div X-Ray. If you guys are wondering, I know we took a look at this already, but like we've been screaming for this on TIA before the breakout for the same exact analysis here, right? Like that's your lower accumulation. You look to go into the range, right? And then you look to fill it, right? We haven't done that yet, but you're looking to get gravitated towards that value area low. So if we take a look at quant, it's the same thing. Deviation below the range, you look to get sucked towards that value area low, then fill the range and hole. If we break out of here, we just got to find that other range, which in my opinion is kind of hard to find on quant, to be honest. But yeah, it's a little bit wonky. On most altcoins, it's like literally almost perfect on every other altcoin. But this one's a little wonky because you don't have a lot of consolidation up here. But if we move this, right, value area low, POC, value area high, right? So the idea here is if this is kind of where TIA was consolidating. Well, actually, no, this is kind of where TIA was consolidating up to the 2024 highs. But if we wind up getting the breakout here, you're looking to get gravitated towards where? That previous value area low, kind of like what happened right here, right? You got a big bounce. Where'd you gravitate to? Value area low. And that would just be kind of the thought process for me behind quant. Flip that value area low to support, POC, flip that value area high, and then potentially off to all-time highs. And so for me, right, if I were looking to acquire quant right now, if I did quant to buy, this is, again, I don't know how low how low people want things to go. Unless 100K was the top on Bitcoin and this thing's going to zero, then, not a bad time, right? We've been talking about this for a while. Let's see. Shout out to Wick's wife. Fine89 said, okay, you can take the biggest fan title. Hey, shout out to Wick's wife in a battle here. I don't know who she's battling, but shout out to Wick's wife, Fine89. It would not be a Frankie Candles live stream without the Wick family. Let's see. Shout out to Flame said, thanks, I checked it. The ETA. No problem, bro. Thank you for being here. All right, let's take a look at, let's see. What else do we want to look at? We could take a look at, let's see here. Casper, Link. Link is fighting its value area low here. So this is a key level. And we already have gotten our pullback into our golden pocket 786 for a higher low. Right? So let's check that 2-day. 2-day money flow crossover into the green calls the bigger trend to the upside. So this could be, right? This could be you held this key fib level. Could be. I would be expecting on Chainlink a potential hold of the value area low. If we're able to do that, I'd be looking for that breaker structure to the upside, targeting the POC at 27 and the value area high at 31.35. Simply put, that is what I'd be looking at. So yeah, she's fighting. Let's see if she can hold that. But in general, right, looking similar to Bitcoin in the short term, right? It's impossible to lose this. You still have to hold this as support. If you come down here and you lose it, you could come down a bit more. And you do have a little bit of value down here, to be quite honest. Yeah, you have this little value area down here. So if you're looking for key support levels on Chainlink, could look down towards this value area, naked value area. But in the long term, right? Like again, like short term, this could follow potentially Bitcoin with the money flow. Also, yeah. But long term, I mean, as long as Bitcoin doesn't go to zero, as long as 100K wasn't the top, right, or 99.7 wasn't the top, this stuff does look, as long as everything's right on track, like we think. And again, like things have been playing out right on track here. Hopefully we could just keep that crystal ball going. Grass, maybe we can take a look at grass. I will check in on Bitcoin really quickly here. Shout out to Chotter. I don't know if that's how you say that, but we can take a look at grass. We can take a look at Peanut. Yeah, we can take a look at Peanut. Peanut's now at a market cap where we could actually look at it. But let's check in on Bitcoin here. 93. Oh, baby, she's pushing. She's going to 100 day. She's going to 100K again, guys. Oh, God. Let's see. Let's check on the trade here. Back up 300. You can see how volatile this can be, guys. Let's see if we can hit this. Let's see if we can hit this dang Fibonacci retracement. Let's see if we can get it. Might be able to. All right, let's see. Yeah, shout out to Alpha Vision. We actually did already take a look at Bitcoin dominance coming up to hit a key level. If you scrub back, you will see it. We were looking at a golden pocket. So yeah, but yeah, it does look like we are rejecting that golden pocket, which hopefully is bullish for altcoins. But we don't want BTC. We don't want USDT dominance going up. But anyway. Let's go ahead and continue on. K Diggity said, R.I.P. Peanut. All right, let's take a look at that. Also, by the way, guys, COQ. We took a look at this in the premium today. COQ was pumping a bit. There she goes. There she goes, baby. Come on, not Peanut. Come on, COQ. Let's get it. Family friendly, guys. Can't say it. You guys can say it all you want, though. Let's see. Come on, COQ. I'm holding my COQ. Shout out to Alpha Vision said, thanks, mate. I'm a bit late to the stream. Yes, I will look back. Shout out to Alpha Vision. No problem, brother. Did we already do Dot? Yes, we already took a look at Polkadot. But real quick, just because we cover this all the time, I mean, we're right on track here, right? We flipped the low to the PLC up to the high. Key level support, 790. Underneath that, get stuck under 790. We're looking down to 640 POC. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. So we got, let's take a look at Peanut real quick. Take a sip of this black coffee as well. I just almost spit that out, Wick. That's crazy. Wick's getting wild in the chat right now. Well, let's see here. Peanut. All right, let's take a look. Actually, I think what I want to do here, let me see if I could pull up, probably not if I had to guess. Let me see if I could pull up some liquidation heat maps on Peanut. I don't know if they're going to have it. Let's see here. Peanut. Okay, no liquidation heat maps on Peanut, unfortunately. But maybe... Hang on one sec. Up 464 on the long. Come on, baby. Push it to the golden pocket. Push it to the golden pocket. Let's check this. Let me see something. Let me see if maybe CoinGlass has a Peanut liquidation heat map. Let us see. All right, let me see if this is no. Where's the heat map at? Here we are. Okay, let me see if they have Peanut. Okay, they do. All right, so we do have some kind of liquidity heat map here. Check this locally. All right, so we do have some liquidity sitting above. Really what I'm looking at here, or what I'm looking for here, is liquidity below. Okay, yeah, this is what I want to see. Let's go back even further. Let's look at the 3-day. All right, so we do have some liquidity sitting here at about $1.06. It's probably below this wick. Yeah, so I would actually look at this as a zone. Yeah, so we do have some liquidity sitting down here below. Now, are we going to go get it? I don't know. But I will say, if I were looking for a long, or if I were looking to maybe buy peanut, I'll say this. If I was looking to buy peanut, I'd probably take a stab at some of it up here, right? And we lose it, and we just kind of average it on the way down. I do think, guys, listen, this could be the meme coin cycle. Not that only meme coins are going to pump, but I think meme coins are much more accepted nowadays in crypto and just investing in general, right? So, I think we're going to see a lot of these meme coins go. I am holding my COQ nice and tight, not too tight, but just right. But I'm actually interested in picking up some altcoins. Now, Peanut has already obviously gotten a massive rip to the upside, but I would see we do have liquidity sitting down below here. So, and this does kind of bring you down. Let's pull up a week here. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I would look at that. If we can come sweep those lows, potentially look for a long position. And you also even have a nice little volume profile here as well. And look at that clean volume profile. Not always do you get these nice clean volume profiles on a meme coin with the low liquidity. Plenty of volume in here. So, this is your local range here on Peanut. Let's check it. Value area high, POC, value area low. So we're going from the low to the POC. Let's see if we can make it to the high. But what I would really love here, what I would love for like a nicer setup here, did you even get confirmation here? Hey, we might have to start trading Peanut. Nice little bull divs into that value area low for move to the POC and potentially the high. Woo! But what I would really love to see here would be more of a, your 15-minute money flow coming up. How's that 4-hour green dot looking? She's looking to potentially print. VWAP coming up here. If we get that green dot with the 15-minute money flow crossover, that could be the bigger move up for Peanut here. However, I would really prefer, not that you have to do this, but I would really prefer to come down, sweep some of that liquidity, get back above the low to the POC, to the high, and then potentially beyond. This would be more ideal for me. But there's no guarantee you come take that liquidity. It is more likely than not that you oftentimes see that happen, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, those are the local levels I'd be looking at on Peanut. And then in general, your upper value is sitting all the way up here. Now, again, obviously, you approach the meme coins with a slightly different attitude than you look at regular real projects with, right? Slightly, right? Not that. Crypto's kind of all speculation, right? Sure, there's nothing driving, no tech driving Peanut or anything like that. But a lot of these coins that we saw last cycle didn't really have much going for them either. Half of the gaming projects didn't even actually have games in production, right? It was basically just create a project, have good marketing, and make a good roadmap that sounds like it's going to be the next big thing, and then just market, pump the coin. If it never gets made, it never gets made. Everybody makes money, and it's all speculation, right? So, if we do get a next big breakup on Peanut, put it this way, the next time you wake up and everyone's like, Peanut explosion, we are probably going to be sitting up here around $1.53 up to about $1.75, right? That would be the next target to the upside. If you could flip it to support, POC, flip it, come to the value area high at $1.90. So there you go. I would really like to sweep that liquidity first, but no guarantees that we get that. Let's see. Shout out to Brutal says, why does Ondo suck so bad after every influencer shilled it? I don't know. I will say this. It's depending on when I don't know. Ondo's kind of crushing. I don't know. I guess it depends on when you were hearing people try to shill it. But yeah, we were talking about Ondo all down here. Same exact setup as Tia. Same exact setup as Polkadot. Same exact setup as whatever else was in our altcoin update last week or the week before. All those altcoins have gotten breakouts for massive moves up. So yeah, one of those was Ando, where Ando was starting to get a little breakout here, looking for price to continue up, to gravitate towards that value area high. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If we take a look at the weekly candles here in the past, we'll say in the past month, I mean, this thing is up. Come on. 100% almost in the past month. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If you aren't, and shout out to whoever said that. Yeah, I don't know. If you're talking about like this little pullback, I mean, this is nothing, right? Like this is after a massive 100% move. Like this is totally fine. This is totally normal. Like I said, especially on altcoins, you got to get ready to like stomach some pretty deep dumps on altcoins without feeling like, nothing goes up into the right forever. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. So yeah, like I don't know. Ando looks like it's crushing to me. So yeah. But yeah, next targets for Ando while we have it open. Flip that daily naked point of control value area low at $1.09. I'd be looking up towards the POC, which is not marked out. Towards the POC here at about $1.20. Flip that POC, looking up towards the value area high at about $1.30. And that's what I'd be looking at on Ando. All right, let's see. I got Ando at 21 cents. It doesn't suck. Shout out to V-Sun. Let's see. Yeah, Brutal says, but performing like crap, it feels. If this is the local BTC low, what is it? But yeah, no, as far as Ando, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I will tell you this. Shout out to Brutal. Are you new to crypto? If you are new to crypto, this is very much like, especially if you come from like the stock world, like this is, it's doing great. This is, I know we kind of gotten a little bit of a pullback here, but to be honest, like in crypto, people think it's all up and to the right. Like even if you just look at like other, back here in 2024, this massive rip up, right, of 650% was not just straight up in a line. So you wind up getting the rip here all the way up to 227% before getting a 41% dump. And a lot of people will see that and be like, oh my God, why is this dumping? And it's like after a massive move up, like 250% move up, a 40% dump after a 250% pump is different than price consolidating and then dumping 40%. That is different. But when you get these big moves up, like even if this pulled back more, I would see that as totally healthy and absolutely crushing, at least over the past month. So shout out to Brutal. Hopefully that clears. Hopefully that kind of like explains, why I would say it's doing well. Just kind of zoom out. You got to look at the high time frames for sure. Going up, baby. Let's see. 94.3. Oh, baby. She's going. Let's see. 3-minute money flow coming up here. 5-minute money flow starting to come up as well. Looking at the 80-minute green dot looking to print. Look at that anchored VWAP holding as support. Hey, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Welcome in. Good to see you, bro. I was just going to say, where's Golden? We're going to need to get Golden in here to pump Bitcoin. And look at that, guys. I don't know. Bitcoin starts to pump. Golden's in chat now. Golden, did you do something? Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, Mrs. Candles told me to tell you, stop talking about your COQ on stream. It's only for her, not everyone else. Shout out to Golden. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. If you guys have a membership, drop those golden emojis in the chat. We love seeing Golden in here. And that is actually my COQ Inu is also basically Mrs. Candles. Sniff time. Shout out to Derelict and Golden. But technically, whatever I make on COQ is gonna be Mrs. Candles as well. So she's got everything, guys. She's taking everything from me. Drop those golden emojis in the chat. We're gonna sniff Mrs. Candles' hand and see if we can pump this thing a little bit more. Come on, it's okay. I know it's cold in the closet. I know. Oh God. Oh no, guys. I don't know what to say here. I think I forgot to poke holes in the closet door. I don't think she was getting enough oxygen in there. But I'm going to sniff the hands, even though they're a little bit deflated. Come on, Mrs. Candles, pump it. I'm like resuscitating her, guys, by sniffing her hands. Mrs. Candles, wake up. Wake up, Mrs. Candles. You need to pump Bitcoin. Oh, she's up. She's back. Let's go, Mrs. Candles. Pump it up, baby. Give me those hands. We got to pump this thing, Mrs. Candles. Let's go. Okay, she's pushing up. She's pushing up. Make the long. Get us that green dot on the 80-minute, Mrs. Candles. Come on. I love you. I love you. I love you. All right. We'll see you next time. Anyway, let's continue on here, guys. Oh, did I not? I thought I was hiding my camera there, guys. Sorry. Anyway, how did you learn to do this all? Shout out to Todor. I don't know how to say your name, brother. I apologize for that. How did I learn how to do all this? A lot of blown up accounts and a lot of time without sunlight. But yeah, I've learned. Oh God, I've been probably realistically. I'm completely self-taught, if that's what you're asking. I've been interested in reading charts and trading stocks at first before I knew what crypto was. I've been interested in this my entire life. I wouldn't say I was practicing how to be a technical analyst or a trader my entire life, but I've just been interested in it forever. I think it all started with like what piqued my interest in it was just like, stock traders were always like, I don't know, and like the way they're portrayed in movies is like super cool, and I thought that was cool. They always had like cool cars, and like they always made a lot of money, and I just thought it was super cool with all the charts and everything. I just took a liking to it. I thought it was cool, and yeah, it took a long time. There was a long time. I have to say, I probably thought I figured out. Not even talking about trading, talking about analysis. I probably thought I figured it out 100 times, and then just kept realizing as time went by. I was like, I can't believe I used to use this type of analysis. It's like you like always cringe at your past self. It's a long time of doing that, and then trading has been a lot of blown up accounts, thinking it was a get rich quick scheme at first, trying to trade forex, trying to trade stocks, then getting into crypto. Lots and lots of time, and more than that, a lot of determination. Right? I am a hard-headed Italian. I have to touch the hot stove 10 times before I learn. I just never gave up. So yeah, it's not like I didn't take one course or read one book or look at one website. It was when I started learning technical analysis, the internet was completely different. There was like Investopedia was where I started learning TA. And like the few people that would talk about stocks on YouTube and stuff. So it's been a really, really, really long journey. So hopefully that answers the question. I've told the full story a million times on the channel, but my dad is also a savage stock trader. But funny enough, it's just something I have in common with my dad. It's not like my dad like not that he didn't teach me anything, but it's crazy. I always forget to mention that my dad trades stocks. He's a savage. He also trades crypto now, and crushes. It's crazy. I feel so blessed that I'm in like one of the few people that have a parent that is like into crypto. Like he's not in the trenches of crypto, but like he's an investor. He trades it and he crushes. My dad's like one of those. He's an old school like trader. He's not a technical analyst at all. He basically just trades off sentiment, which is crazy. But he crushes. It's insane. Like when my dad bought close to the bottom of the bear market, and like me, like obviously, he always asks me my opinion on the charts and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to my dad and those sentiment traders that can just do it really well. My dad just kind of called me up. He's like, "Yeah, I don't think this thing's going any lower." And I'm like, "Yeah, like charts look pretty good too." And he's like, "Yeah, I just don't think it's going lower." And he just sniped basically the bottom. Can't make it up. Daddy candles, absolutely. Shout out to my dad. But yeah. So yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, we're getting a little bounce on Bitcoin, baby. Keep it pumping. Keep it pumping. How's the trade looking here? Kind of still just in the same spot. Let's see. But I bet he's crazy proud. Shout out to Michael Snell. I appreciate that. I hope so. But yeah, let's see here. What should we look at next here? Okay, so let's take a look at Pyth. I said we would look at Pyth before. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Anybody trade stocks in the chat? Let me know. I am now like 100% crypto. I don't trade stocks. Just the volatility is unbeatable in crypto. Trying to find the good chart here. Say Bybit perpetuals. Let's see. I'll pull this larger range. All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, here's your lower range. We are starting to break out here just a little bit on Pyth. What is this? This is your 2024 high. And, okay, that's 2023. All right, let me... So I would probably look at this. Yeah, I would probably more look at this. Whoops. Look at this volume profile like this. And then pull this previous value back here. This could be what we're interacting with right now. Boom. And then I will go ahead and pull the value area low, the POC, and the value area high. Just a quick and rough here. So yeah, I mean, these are kind of the two value areas I would look at. And then if we pull up the VP VR, come on. Yeah, I would say, yeah, like your major level to get above is going to be these highs at about 50 cents. You still have some levels here, right? You still have some high volume nodes, high volume node, high volume node, high volume node. But, your big volume level to flip is going to be like around 45 cents, 50 cents, 45 and 50 cents. It's a big zone. But once you start working out of here, it's hard to say. I mean, you do kind of have like a decent amount of levels up here. Could be a grind, slow grind to the upside potentially. But locally, these are the levels that I'd be looking at on Pyth, right? You can see the POC getting respected pretty well here. Value area low end POC also getting respected. Bing bong, clinging. Flip it, POC, lose it, back to the POC. If we hold this value POC here, 44 cents, I would be looking up here towards about 48.4889 right here. That's the next level I'd look at. And these are just local, right? Once you wind up breaking out of this range, like I said, there are kind of a lot of levels here, to be quite honest. So, if we get the breakout here, we'll look at other targets. But for the most part, like if we find some, I could try to find some higher time frame levels. I mean, here's a weekly at about 65.92. So that could be a level to watch. And, if I actually did pull this range slightly different and I took like the bigger kind of value. Whoops. Something like this. Yeah, POC, the range is up in there as well. So this is kind of a wonky range that I pulled here, but the POC is likely going to still be respected here, especially in confluence with that weekly. So big target to the upside would be about 65.92 if we break out here. But again, it could be a grind. Could be like something like what we're seeing right now. Just kind of like hopefully not. That would be really boring. But that would be the next target I'd be looking at to the upside on Pyth. Now, coming from a market cipher perspective, 5-day red dot looking to print, 4-day red dot. Yeah, VWAP flipping and flopping all over the place here. Let's see, 3-day. Yeah, kind of. A market cipher a little chopped up here, to be quite honest. So I would just be paying more attention to the levels. Hold above this POC. I'm looking up towards 0.4889. So there you go. But with all that being said, guys, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Try to catch up on chat here. What are your thoughts on Moodang? We can take a look at that. Hopefully I look at the right chart here. It's hard to say, right? Like these charts on stuff like this, it's really hard to call. There's just not a lot of price history. So I'm not even really going to go into this too much. What is it? I think this is a meme coin, right? I think it's a meme coin, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Moodang. No, so the thing with the meme coins, right, is the analysis that goes into a meme coin pumping at first is much different than analysis that you would do on a chart, right? Like when Peanut was a micro cap, right, when it was like whatever, like super low market cap, the analysis you would do on that is much different than the chart analysis you would do on it now with a much higher market cap. So for the most part, like when you even regardless of the market cap, when you have this little price history, it's very hard to do the analysis other than just like finding local levels. Right, so obviously we're in an uptrend here. We have low, high, higher, low, higher, high. However you look at this, the internal structure or external structure, I mean, if we pull from the low to the high here, you're losing this 786, starting to bounce off this golden pocket. So, I mean, these are probably the local levels I would look at. Now, again, I don't know the market cap on this. I don't know, what this the whole project's about or whatever. So, if this is just some meme, it could not respect the TA. But yeah, like I will just give you this, like the next lower level I would look at, like big level, would pretty much be, sitting right here, right? You have this naked volume profile sitting down here, POC, value area low, 786 confluence. So this would be somewhat of a zone to look at, between about roughly 26 to 24 cents. So if you lose this golden pocket, that's probably the next level I'd look at. You probably also, if I had to guess, have some liquidity sitting here. So that could be come hunt out that liquidity, SFP into the 786, and then see if you can get a move up. But for the most part, these are the levels I would look at. But again, kind of hard to say on something like Moodang because of the lack of price history. So hopefully it helps you out in some way. Yo, shout out to Crypto Pollo. Let's go. He says, take a look at Peanut again. I swear you talk the TA, then it pumps. Yo, shout out to Peanut, baby. Maybe we should start trading Peanut. Should have just longed it live. Yeah, here we go. There it goes, baby. There it goes. Unbelievable. Actually, wait, hang on a second. What is the what chart were we looking at this on? Peanut? Oh yeah, there we go. Up to the value area high, baby. Guys, the volume profiles will change your life. Let me see. Does Blowfin have? Of course they have Peanut. This is one thing I love about Blowfin. They list the. I mean, obviously this isn't like super new, but a lot of the new meme coins, guys, do get listed on Blowfin very quickly. That's one thing they're extremely, amongst other things, one thing that they're very good at is listing those coins super quick. Now, obviously, you could trade them with leverage. Please be careful trading meme coins with leverage. It's very risky, but it is nice that you could do it. You got to risk a small amount of your capital on some leverage. But yeah, there we go, right? Like held the value area low, bullish divergences, right? These are one of the basic confirmations you could look at a value area low. Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves, money flow crossover on the 10-minute, looking for that to happen on the 15-minute for the bigger move up if you can get it. But yeah, I mean, you're basically, the way I trade these guys is, again, I don't, trade just based off divergences. Sometimes I will, depending on the key level that's getting hit. But for a typical value area trade, like you're looking to get in on bullish confirmations at the value area low, even if you deviate below, because this is an undervalued asset, the fair value is in between these two levels, the value area low and the value area high. This is the fair value. This is cheap. This is expensive. You look to short these back into the fair value, and when you come down, you look to long this back into the fair value and rotate, right? So it's very simple. Bullish confirmations at a value area low. Your next target, the next place for price to likely go is going to be the POC of the range, which is sitting at $1.16. Once you flip the POC, you're going to be looking to head up towards that value area high at $1.23. This could be TP1 and TP2. And then at that point, if you could hold that moon bag for a potential bigger rip to the upside, take some profit, move your stop loss to break even, or even move your stop loss into profit, and then let that winner run. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out in profit. Whoops. In profit. Right? Not if this is the case, but if you moved it up, you would get stopped out in profit. Insane. There you go, guys. On the live stream. You look for it, and it plays out, baby. Let's go. Let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Can we take a look at mobile, and would you think it has a chance to pump? Let's take a look. Not only did I didn't even type the right letters. All right. Actually, before we do that, I want to see one thing. take a look at the Frankie Candles Essentials volume profile real quick. Take a look at this. I'm going to get rid of this. Well, actually, oh, man. Whoops. I messed that up. Sorry, guys. Okay. I'm going to pull this here, and I'm going to get rid of the other volume profile. If you guys are looking for a free volume profile tool to use, I think there is the regular one on TradingView is free, I believe. But if you're looking for a souped-up volume profile to look at with divergence detecting, as well as automatic Fibonacci levels, you can check out Frankie Candles Essentials. Search it in TradingView. It's 100% free. Just click it and add it to your chart right now. But it is by Lux Algo. Shout out to Lux Algo. They are a sponsor of the channel. Although this indicator is free, they do have a lot of paid indicators that are amazing as well that we use all the time here. But let's take a look at this real quick. I want to take a look. I'm going to change the external divergence detection to... oh, this moved. I couldn't find this last time. Light blue wave. All right, so we're going to change this to Market Cipher, so it's looking for the divergences on Market Cipher. And I'm going to come up here. Actually, I'm going to have to change this a bit. I'm going to have to move this. Okay, there we go. So I was going to say, because this is such a clean profile, I figured we'd get some kind of sauce can emojis down here below the value area. So all these sauce cans do is let you know kind of, where I typically look for those confirmations and if you're getting those confirmations below the value area. And then you can see you're showing that you had a bullish divergence forming down here. We did come down to sweep the lows one last time. But honestly, depending on the look back period that you use for the divergences, I recommend just keeping them the same. But if you will get that depending on the look period, it will detect the longer divergences as well. But watch my video on how to use this indicator if you guys are interested. But just letting you know, you're getting divergences down here. Now you can spot these with your eye as well. But if you're new, it can kind of help you know. Oh, we are getting bullish divergences down here as we deviate below this this key level, or even down here, looking for this as a bullish confirmation at a key level. And that's where you're looking for a potential long back into the POC and potentially the value area high. I just wanted to see if that was going to print that sauce can, but it did. That was kind of more for me than you guys. But check out Frankie Candles Essentials on TradingView. Again, 100% free, no strings attached. We made it for the community with Lux Algo. This is why I love Lux Algo. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to DJ said. With that being said, WTBS baby. We actually do we have a WTBS emoji? I think we do. Let's see. I think we do. Do I ever look at moon phases? Shout out to Only Winners. Do you ever look at moon phases and how the market moves up after a full moon and down after a new moon for the past 5 months? Yeah. Shout out to Only Winners. Yes. I don't look at them, but I know about it. We pull up the indicator sometimes here. I'll be honest. I say this all the time. I used to kind of be like you can't trade based off moon phases. Now, again, is it as easy as just, full moon long, new moon short? If it was, I would have coded a bot already to do that. But it does have a super high hit rate. I'm not going to lie. I used to kind of be like a low key kind of like hate on it a little bit because it was kind of like, I'm like, it's all nonsense. That's all woo woo. I don't know. You check that indicator. You back test that indicator, baby. That thing slaps. But again, you can't just use anything as a buy and sell indicator, even my indicator, right? You can't use these sauce cans as buy and sell signals. That is not how trading works. If it was that easy, no one would have a job. Everyone would just get the buy and sell indicators and code them as bot. But yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Michelle. I can't see this. I think I either need glasses or I need like shout out to my 90s babies. You guys ever remember like those big magnifying glasses that people would put over like grandparents would put like over like calculators or like screens that they couldn't see, just like a giant magnifying glass? I think I need that. But shout out to you. They say, "Hi Frankie, me and Doug love to watch you every night. We get a good laugh when Mrs. Candles comes on." Your question is, do you move money from Blowfin to USA account after the money? Are you saying I don't know if I fully understand that question. If you clarify, I will try to answer as accurately as I can. Are you asking me like how I off ramp? That might be asking. For me, for the most part, I use Coinbase as an off-ramp, if that's the question you're asking. I'm not sure if I understood that correctly, though. All right, can we take a look at AR? Yes, we can. Let's take a quick look at Let me see here. Zoom out. Is this the right chart? Funny enough, listen, your boy Frankie Candle's not going to come up here and say he called something if he didn't. And this is one of those times, right? I don't think we called this. I think this was in hindsight, just so you know. If I call something, I'll tell you I called. If I didn't, I will tell you I didn't. I'm pretty sure this was not called. This was just like in hindsight, we were looking at this as, hey, this bounce here was nice because it was a 786 value area high. Use that as an example. You won't get that transparency other places. But let me see here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this looks similar to Dogecoin, right? Like where you got the breakout a little earlier in March, right? And then we got that cool off as Bitcoin kind of consolidated. We got the big kind of fake altcoin bear market. But really all that was to come and retest the previous range highs. And in this case, this was a 786 retracement as well. So we get back above this golden pocket, just from a like a structural perspective here on a higher time frame. Let me get rid of the smart trail here real quick. Even like a weekly, or maybe we can get it on the monthly as well. No, not quite. But you get the bullish change of character down here. At that point, you are looking for trends to the upside, lackluster pullbacks, and breaks of structure, right? Lackluster pullback, and again, this is marked out a little weird, but at this point, like where you're looking for that higher low to come in, 786 retracement would be the place to do it. And I know we do have a change of character here a little bit more locally, but I mean, let me see if I could look at, let me see if I can label this a little differently. If I, let me pull up the swing structure. And then I will hide the internal structure. What the heck? Where's the structure? Interesting. I don't know why that's not working. But either way, we have like a clear change of trend, right? We break out here, we're getting a retest, and if we can keep that higher low, I mean, that would be the next anticipation would be a break of structure to the upside, in my opinion. So that's kind of what I'd be really looking at to be, right on that 786, retest the range high, very similar to what Dogecoin did, to be quite honest, right? Like Dogecoin, here's your lower range, right? Breakout, retest of the old range highs, break of structure to the upside. Looks very similar. Bada boom. So there you go. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. Other than that, let's take a look. Like I think if you're going to get another big move here, I would look for the 2-day money flow crossover into the green. You get that? Maybe you bing bong around a little bit, but once that 2-day money flow crosses into the green, that's probably, in my opinion, what would start the move. If we don't get it, maybe we don't get the move. But if you get that green money flow crossover on the 2-day, that's what I would look at for the bigger move to the upside. So there you go. I won't talk about like the much higher targets. I think I even have a I think one of our charts has all the levels on it. Yeah, like locally. Yeah, look at that rejection on the weekly as well. This is the one that we were looking at more recently. Yeah, weekly rejection. We get back up here. I mean, if you get the bigger move up, I'd look to come into this range. Weekly value area low at 26.42. Flip that to support. Look to come up to $38. Flip that to support. Look up to about 41.40. Very simple. That's what I would look for. Other than that, markets have kind of chopped up a little bit here on the lower time frames. Daily red dot printing, so maybe a little bit more turbulence. But yeah, I'd be paying a lot of attention to those levels. So with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got. To clarify, you transfer money from Blowfin to Coinbase by wallet. Can you trust? So shout out. Okay, so here's where I stand with any exchange whatsoever. I don't like, and this is part of the, I actually talked about this recently. It's part of the benefit of trading with leverage is the fact that I don't have to hold 100K on an exchange to enter into certain position sizes, right? So when it comes to any exchange, right, even Coinbase, right, I don't like to hold all of my money on one exchange, right? So if you're growing a trading account, let's say you grow your trading account from like 10K to 30K or whatever it is, right? Or 1K to 3K or $100 to $400, whatever it is, right? You don't want to ever hold all of your money on an exchange, regardless of what it is. FTX went down, right? That should say all you need to know. So for me, part of the reason that or one of the benefits of leverage in general is you don't have to hold a ton of your money on an exchange. So yeah, once any of my exchanges gets up to a certain amount, I am either offloading to a wallet, or if I want to take the actual USD out, I would transfer that to a Coinbase and off-ramp it into US dollars, right? And if I just, say I was like accumulating crypto on an exchange or whatever it is, or I make a bunch of, whatever it is, if it's crypto, I'll send it to a wallet. If it is USD that I want to withdraw, I'll send it to Coinbase and then withdraw it that way. So hopefully that answers your question. But there you go. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, Blowfin is no KYC. You should be able to use at least for where I am. So yeah, I think there are no KYC. So you should be able to get on there. Whether you use our link or not, you should be able to get on there. Thank you. That helped a lot. Shout out to you. Thank you for answering the question. You probably helped out a lot of other people as well. But, guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I got to go blow up Mrs. Candles because she's a little bit low on air. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate, don't hold more than 1K on an exchange. Shout out to DJ. Like, whatever your, I think the amount of money probably changes for most people. But, yeah, like, any money that you have to think of this, guys. Like, especially with, like, FTX goes down, like, that really put it into perspective for me. Right now, Coinbase is a publicly traded company. They're also FDIC insured. I know that's the case, but don't take, do your own research. But they are FDIC insured for up to $250,000, right? So, they have people you can call. You could pay extra for whatever it is, Coinbase One or whatever, to get a little extra customer service. So, would I trust Coinbase more than, like, say a new exchange comes out tomorrow and they're like, hey, we're a new exchange, right? Like, am I going to trust Coinbase a little bit more? Maybe. But still not holding, like, you should not be holding your net worth on an exchange, no matter what it is, right? Crazy stuff happens. So at the end of the day, you have to think, like, sure, is it unlikely? Maybe for something like Coinbase to go down. But if it did, are you okay losing the amount of money that you have holding in there? Because it has happened before. I know people have lost money at FTX and in exchanges as well as getting wallet hacked, right? I know people lose money all the time in crypto. So just be careful out there. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight. Shout out to, I don't know how to say your name, brother. I'm going to call you G. He said Tia. We took a look at Tia. If you scrub back, we give all the altcoin sauce, all the Bitcoin sauce. Just watch the stream from the beginning. You'll get everything. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got. I got to go blow up Mrs. Candles. I will see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Just remember, money flow is technically still pointing to the downside. So we are still, trade's still kind of sitting in the same spot here, up 437 bucks. Short still well in profit as well. But just remember, money flow is still technically pointing to some potential more downside if we don't hold this level of support. So be careful out there. I'm going to sit here and watch this trade. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Shout out to everybody out there making money. Shout out to DivX, right? Congrats on 60K on that Tia call. I appreciate you for being here, bro, every day. So hopefully we locked you in for life. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor,